Chapter 694. Ning Shu walked into the restaurant and the waiter came over. Ning Shu said, "Sir, a guest wants to share a table with you. Please go over there." Ning Shu looked in the direction the waiter was pointing and saw the well-dressed Zhang Jiasen smiling at her from afar. Ning Shu immediately got goosebumps and turned to leave. The waiter immediately said, "Sir, the guest knows that you don't want to go over. He asked me to bring you a message." "What message?" Ning Shu raised her eyebrows and looked at Zhang Jiasen. "We can work together," the waiter said. "Working with Zhang Jiasen? Bullshit. She would have to count the money for Zhang Jiasen if she sold it." Ning Shu turned around and walked out of the restaurant. Zhang Jiasen shook his head and caught up with Ning Shu. Ning Shu looked at him warily. "I don't understand. Why are you fighting with me? Are you looking for revenge?" Zhang Jiasen said indifferently, "Everything in the past is just a passing cloud. Why would I look for you for revenge? I just want to work with you. Besides, we are acquaintances, aren't we?" They weren't acquaintances at all. Ning Shu refused. "There's no need to work together. We might not meet in the same plane." Zhang Jiasen said, "If we happen to meet in the same plane, if we are enemies and don't know each other, won't we both lose? That's why I want to work together. After all, we are acquaintances." Ning Shu nodded and didn't say anything. Zhang Jiasen's eyes flashed and he said, "If we meet in the same world, it's very important to know each other's existence. To be honest, I don't want to be enemies with you." And then? Ning Shu looked at Zhang Jiasen. Zhang Jiasen took out a red string and said, "This item can let us know each other's existence." Ning Shu saw the item in Zhang Jiasen's hand and her pupils constricted. Wasn't this the fucking string of affection? Zhang Jiasen actually took out the string of affection. "This unscrupulous bitch." Ning Shu sneered and said, "No need." Ning Shu turned around and walked away. Zhang Jiasen reached out and touched Ning Shu's arm. As soon as he touched it, he immediately withdrew his hand. The strings of affection followed Zhang Jiasen's touch and entered Ning Shu's arm. Finally, it formed a red rope around his wrist. Ning Shu lowered his head and looked at his wrist. He looked at Zhang Jiasen coldly. Zhang Jiasen smiled and said, "This way, if we meet on the same plane, we won't be strangers, and we won't kill each other." Ning Shu rolled his eyes and raised his hand. "Look carefully." The red rope on Ning Shu's wrist gradually dissipated. Finally, it turned into red smoke and disappeared. The string of love was no longer tied to Ning Shu's wrist. Faced with such a situation, Zhang Jiasen only raised his eyebrows and said calmly, "You don't agree?" "Why should I agree? You used the string of affection on me. What? Did you think I was meow meow meow, who was tricked by you and lost her life?" Ning Shu's face was full of sarcasm. "If you want revenge, we'll make it clear." Ning Shu took 2 steps back. Zhang Jiasen smiled and shook his head. "Just because we didn't get along, you have such great enmity towards me." "Ning Shu, what the fuck? You're clearly the bitch with bad intentions. How can you say I have enmity?" "Yes, I have great enmity towards you." Ning Shu said to number 233 in his mind, "Return to the system space." Zhang Jiasen just watched indifferently as Ning Shu disappeared. He turned around and walked away indifferently. Ning Shu returned to the system space. He sat cross-legged on the sofa and silently chanted the mind-cleansing mantra. He was really angered by Zhang Jiasen. Did he really think that the halo of faith that could block all curses was just for show? Fortunately, Ning Shu was at a disadvantage as an empress. He immediately exchanged for the halo of faith that could block curses. He didn't expect that the first time he used it would be on Zhang Jiasen. This bitch definitely wanted revenge. She caused him to commit suicide. She even killed the innocent meow meow meow. There was no way he would let her go. Ning Shu was a little gloating. The string of affection was destroyed. "You wasted your points. You deserved it." Ning Shu didn't plan to do any more quests. Ning Shu still hadn't adjusted his mood after this incident. He pulled out a book from the bookshelf and carefully read it. After he finished reading, he put the book back on the shelf. Ning Shu took the watering can and watered the bright flowers. He still felt uncomfortable, so he just lay on the bed and slept. After a comfortable sleep, he sat on the sofa and said to number 233, Let's see who asked for this quest. As soon as number 233's voice fell, a woman appeared in the system space. This woman had short curly hair. She was about 50 years old. Ning Shu was a little surprised. This was the first time he saw such an old client. My name is Yang Zi. I want you to help me counterattack. Yang Zi said to Ning Shu. She looked up and down at Ning Shu. You are so young. Yang Zi's expression was a little suspicious. You are a quest taker? Ning Shu nodded. Counterattacking has a price. You need to pay with your soul. Are you sure you want to counterattack? Yang Zi was silent for a moment. She nodded and said, For my son, I am willing. Ning Shu confirmed again, Are you sure you want to counterattack? I'm sure. Yang Zi said. Ning Shu heard that the quest taker was her son. He nodded and accepted, I will accept the quest. Yang Zi's soul disappeared from the system space. Ning Shu did 2 chest expansions, took a deep breath, and said, Let's enter the mission. As soon as 2333's voice fell, Ning Shu felt a wave of dizziness. By the time Ning Shu's body was fully integrated with her body, before she could even open her eyes, she heard thumping sounds coming from the room next door. Ning Shu's heart was burning with anger. He was very irritated. Ning Shu silently chanted the clear heart mantra in his heart. He was sweating all over. It was very uncomfortable. Ning Shu felt uncomfortable all over. He was irritable, and his heart was palpitating. These symptoms were definitely menopausal syndrome. It was so fucking miserable. He was sad when his period came, but it was even worse when it didn't. Ning Shu silently chanted the clear heart mantra. When he calmed down a little, he began to accept the plot. Yang Zi was a single mother. She divorced her husband before the 7-year itch. Yang Zi's husband was the kind of person who met his true love after marriage. He met his true love, who was very simple and not pretentious. She was very different from the old woman at home. He was willing to pay a large amount of alimony to divorce Yang Zi. Yang Zi raised the child, and then the husband happily married his true love. Every month he gave Yang Zi and their son, Wang Bo, living expenses. Yang Zi was a kind person. She was not kind. She was more like a coward. She lived alone with her 6-year-old son. After so many years, she did not have a family. Chapter 695. Yang Zi was the kind of person who didn't want to argue with others and would take a step back. She was an honest and sincere person. Under her guidance, her son, Wang Bo, was also such a person. Furthermore, he grew up in a single-parent family, so he was somewhat taciturn. He wasn't married even when he was in his 30s. However, Wang Bo met a woman who was 2 years older than him, Kai Anchi. This Kai Anchi was a beautiful woman with delicate features. She said to Wang Bo that he was very honest and sincere, unlike other men who indulged in debauchery. He looked very reliable. Wang Bo was flattered and the two gradually started to interact with each other. In the end, they got married. To be able to marry a wife like this, Wang Bo naturally doted on her. Yang Zi also treated this daughter-in-law very well. She usually didn't let her do the housework and treated her like an ancestor. Wang Bo and Yang Zi were married for 2 years but didn't get pregnant. Wang Bo didn't mind either. He had also been married for a few years but didn't have children. Finally, Kai Anchi was pregnant. However, from the moment she was pregnant, she kept bleeding. Wang Bo wanted to bring Kai Anchi to the hospital. Kai Anchi didn't want to go to the hospital and said that she was just weak. However, the bleeding symptoms didn't alleviate and the child couldn't be saved. Although Wang Bo was sad, he was more concerned about Kai Anchi's health. He asked the doctor what caused the miscarriage and asked him to be more careful next time. The doctor directly said with disdain that the uterus was as thin as a piece of paper after a few scrapes. How could the child be implanted in the bed? Wang Bo felt as if he was struck by lightning. Kai Anchi lied to him. She was a woman who loved to play. When she was slightly older, her family urged her to find an honest man to spend the rest of her life with. Since ancient times, brothel girls and women who were tired of playing would find honest men to spend the rest of their lives with. Such men had a common name, taker. After this miscarriage, Kai Anchi couldn't have children anymore. Kai Anchi didn't really care and even said that she wanted to continue living with Wang Bo. Wang Bo was angered to death by Kai Anchi's attitude. Not only did Kai Anchi lie to him, but she also unknowingly acted high and mighty in front of him. He was willing to dote on her because she was a good woman. However, only now did he realize that she was a woman who didn't love herself and had played with countless men. Wang Bo wanted a divorce, but Kai Anchi was dead set on it. She said that he had to pay a sum of money before the divorce. Wang Bo only wanted freedom. Even if he was given money, he still wanted a divorce. Kai Anchi had cheated him and divorced him with a sum of money. Just thinking about it made him furious. Wang Bo had experienced an unhappy marriage. After the divorce, he didn't want to get married again. Yang Zi was worried to death. She hated Kai Anchi in her heart. Yang Zi's wish was for her son to get married and for Kai Anchi to pay the price. After Ning Shu accepted the plot, he could only say that the shameless villain lived a carefree life, while the honest person was hurt. It was hard to have such a daughter-in-law. This society was open, but it had not reached the point of being perverted. Although it was a modern society, the restrictions on women were not reduced. Ning Shu couldn't help but despise such a woman in his heart. She would take advantage of her youth to play freely, and when she was a little older, she would find an honest and steady man who wouldn't indulge in debauchery and get married. Let a man like Wang Bo pay the bill. She bowed and groveled in front of a scumbag, but in front of an honest person, she was arrogant. Now that Wang Bo and Kai Anchi were married, it was their honeymoon period. He didn't know what was going on in the next room, but there was a knocking sound. It was probably a game of, "Come and chase me, if you catch me, I'll let you have sex with me." Ning Shu felt that his body was covered in night sweat. He took a shower, then sat cross-legged on the bed and began to cultivate the ultimate martial arts. After cultivating for a long time, Ning Shu was interrupted by a knock on the door. He stopped cultivating, and a very small trace of Qi Jin was produced in his body. It felt good. In the past, it was impossible to cultivate Qi Jin in the modern world. It was probably because of the support of the ultimate martial arts. There was another knock on the door, followed by a man's voice. "Mom." Ning Shu got up from the bed, put on his slippers and opened the door. He saw Wang Bo and Kai Anchi. Wang Bo had a medium build and an honest face. He was quite good-looking, but he was honest and didn't seem very charming. Ning Shu asked, "What's the matter?" Wang Bo said, "Mom, it's time for lunch." "Ning Shu, do you want her to make lunch now?" Ning Shu glanced at the pretty Kai Anchi. Although her facial features weren't stunning, they were still very beautiful together. "I'm not feeling well today, so I won't be cooking." Ning Shu looked at Kai Anchi. "Daughter-in-law, you do it. I'm really not feeling well." "Mom, are you okay?" Wang Bo heard Ning Shu say that he wasn't feeling well, so he quickly said, "Do you want to go to the hospital?" Ning Shu waved his hand. "It's just that I'm old, so it's normal for me to not feel well." "Daughter-in-law, you'll be cooking today." Kai Anchi pursed her lips and said, "Why don't we order takeout? It's too hot to cook in summer." "Huh, you're hot when you cook, but I'm not hot when I cook?" Ning Shu smiled and said, "The food outside is not clean, but the food at home is clean." Kai Anchi frowned and pulled Wang Bo's sleeve. Wang Bo glanced at Kai Anchi. Ning Shu said, "Mom, let's order takeout." Ning Shu nodded. "That's good." Kai Anchi almost couldn't help but roll her eyes. She said that the other party wouldn't agree no matter what, but as soon as her son said it, she immediately agreed. TSK, such behavior. Kai Anchi took out her phone and called the restaurant to order food. Ning Shu listened by the side. The dishes Kai Anchi ordered were all quite expensive. A home-cooked dish was a few dozen to 100 yuan, and if she didn't order a single dish, a meal would cost a few hundred yuan. With such extravagance, the three of them couldn't eat so much. This family wasn't very rich, but it could be considered passable. The original owner was a company employee, and now she had retired and had some pension. In addition to the alimony that her ex-husband had given for so many years, her son was now working, and his salary was average. Back then, Kai Anchi had considered many aspects before choosing such a family. Kai Anchi ordered so many dishes, but Ning Shu didn't say anything. Wang Bo first looked at Ning Shu. Seeing that Ning Shu didn't have any objections, he was relieved and sat on the sofa with Kai Anchi to watch TV. He also peeled a banana for Kai Anchi. Ning Shu sat on the sofa and waited for the takeout. Not long after, the doorbell rang and the takeout arrived. Wang Bo paid the bill and placed the dishes on the table. He said to the mother-in-law and daughter-in-law sitting on the sofa, "Let's eat." The dishes on the table were very sumptuous. The dishes were placed on half the table, and the aroma was overflowing. Ning Shu sat down to eat, and the two people opposite him kept picking up food. Wang Bo kept picking up food for Kai Anchi. Kai Anchi looked a little impatient and said, "Don't pick up food, I have a lot in my bowl. You eat too." Chapter 696. Kai Anchi ordered so many dishes that she couldn't finish them all. Moreover, Kai Anchi didn't eat much in the first place, so there was a lot left. After Kai Anchi finished eating, she pushed the bowl away and left the table. She didn't think about cleaning up the table and went straight to the bedroom. Wang Bo was about to clean up the table when Kai Anchi stood at the door of the bedroom and shouted to Wang Bo, "Come here and help me get something. I can't reach it." Wang Bo looked at Ning Shu. Ning Shu said indifferently, "Go, I'll clean it up." Wang Bo walked towards Kai Anchi happily. Kai Anchi closed the door and didn't know what she was doing in the room. Ning Shu looked at the mess on the table and curled his lips. He wrapped the dishes in plastic wrap and put them in the fridge. Then he washed the dishes. Walking out of the kitchen, he saw the couple's closed door. The two of them stayed in the room for half a day, occasionally coming out to get water. Ning Shu didn't care. Now that Wang Bo got a wife, he was very happy. It was normal for them to be sick of each other. Ning Shu wanted to make things difficult for Kai Anchi. When they got a divorce, he couldn't let her take away a large sum of money. It was obvious that Kai Anchi had too many miscarriages and couldn't get pregnant. She even blamed Wang Bo for the miscarriages and asked for a large sum of money. Yang Zi and Wang Bo were honest. Wang Bo wanted to get rid of Kai Anchi even if he had to give her money. Ning Shu returned to the room and sat cross-legged on the bed to start cultivating. Because this body had reached menopause, its endocrine imbalance made it feel uncomfortable. When it was time for dinner, Wang Bo and Kai Anchi came out of the room and sat on the sofa. Kai Anchi was playing with her phone while Wang Bo looked at her. Ning Shu put the leftovers from lunch back into the pot to reheat. The color of the dishes after reheating them didn't look good anymore. Moreover, they had become soft. One look and he lost his appetite. When Kai Anchi saw the dishes Ning Shu made, her face turned ugly. She was unhappy and sat down heavily on the chair. Wang Bo naturally saw that Kai Anchi was unhappy, but on one side was his mother, the mother he had depended on for more than 20 years, and on the other side was the woman he liked, his wife. Wang Bo was an honest man. He didn't know how to get out of this situation. When Kai Anchi saw Wang Bo's behavior, she was so angry that she wanted to die. This block of wood. Back then she had thought that he was honest, but now he wasn't honest at all. He was stupid. Ning Shu smiled and said, "Let's eat. There are still a lot of dishes left from lunch. I'll heat them up and eat." Kai Anchi picked up her chopsticks and looked at the dishes. She didn't know how to eat. She couldn't help but say, "Granny, these leftovers are not healthy at all. It's not good for your health to eat them." Ning Shu looked at Kai Anchi and said, "Are we going to throw away all these vegetables? These were all bought with money. It's not easy for Wang Bo to earn money. He should be more frugal." Kai Anchi curled her lips and retorted, "Earning money is for a better life. Then what's the point of earning money? Granny, you're too thrifty. If you eat these unhealthy dishes and get sick, all the money will be gone. It's not worth it." "Don't you think so?" Kai Anchi used her foot to touch Wang Bo's leg under the table. Wang Bo could only say, "Mom, what Anchi said makes sense." Ning Shu glanced at Wang Bo and said, "Since you can't eat, why did you order so many dishes? Let's eat. If we can't finish it tonight, we'll continue tomorrow morning until we finish." Kai Anchi was so angry that she put down her chopsticks and went back to the bedroom. She slammed the bedroom door. Wang Bo quickly stood up. Ning Shu said gently, "Sit down and eat. When a family is together, there will always be conflicts. We need to get used to each other." Wang Bo could only sit down. Ning Shu said, It's not that I don't want to give you food. It's just that some waste is unnecessary. You should be more frugal in life. With some money, you can deal with some unexpected situations. She's living a comfortable life now. When something happens, it'll be useless even if she yells and screams. Kaianchi's family isn't very well off. How can she be so extravagant in raising a daughter? Ning Shu said with a surprised expression. Wang Bo didn't know what to say. After a long silence, he said, Anchi just got married. I guess she's not used to it. Not used to it? Ning Shu saw that she was very used to it, so he didn't hold back. Let's eat. Ning Shu said to Wang Bo. Wang Bo looked at the bedroom and said, Mom, do you want me to call Anchi out for dinner? Ning Shu said with a kind face, she doesn't like to eat this kind of food. Don't call her. But Wang Bo frowned tightly. He didn't dare to refute Ning Shu. He could only eat, but he ate very quickly. After a few mouthfuls of rice, he pushed the bowl and chopsticks away and went to the bedroom to see Kaianchi. Ning Shu ate slowly alone. When he was full, he threw away the rest of the food. If you don't want to eat, don't eat. Anyway, there wasn't any food left. After tidying up, Ning Shu went back to his room to cultivate. Kaianchi, who had slept until midnight, was very hungry. Plus, there was a fairy fight earlier. She was really hungry. Kaianchi pushed Wang Bo beside her. Wang Bo asked with a nasal voice, What's wrong? I'm hungry. Go get me something to eat. Kaianchi kicked Wang Bo's leg. It was really midnight. Wang Bo had to go to work tomorrow. Seeing Kaianchi like this, Wang Bo could only sigh silently and get up. Kaianchi smiled and got up from the bed. She sat at the table and waited for dinner. Wang Bo went to the kitchen and opened the fridge. There was no ready-made food in it. Wang Bo could only knock on Ning Shu's door. Ning Shu was cultivating when she heard the knock. She opened the door and saw Wang Bo. She then glanced at Kaianchi, who was sitting on a chair waiting to be fed. She asked, What's wrong? Mom, didn't you have a lot of leftovers before? Wang Bo asked Ning Shu. Anchi is hungry. I want to make her some fried rice. Ning Shu frowned and said, Didn't Anchi say that leftovers were unhealthy? I threw them all away. There's no rice now. Didn't he not eat leftovers? I did. Wang Bo looked at Kaianchi helplessly. Kaianchi almost couldn't help but roll her eyes. She felt that this mother-in-law was really annoying. Knowing that she didn't eat, she threw away the leftovers and used her words to block her. Kaianchi was flustered, but she had no reason to refute her. Ning Shu rubbed his forehead and said, You can cook noodles. My body isn't very good. You can open the fire. Ning Shu closed the door and went to sleep. Outside the door, Wang Bo and Kaianchi looked at each other. Kaianchi suppressed the anger in her heart and said coquettishly, Wang Bo, I'm hungry. Wang Bo could only open the fire to cook noodles for Kaianchi. He hurriedly made a bowl of noodles. The taste wasn't very good. The noodles were almost paste. Although Wang Bo was a child of a single-parent family, Yang Zi rarely let Wang Bo do housework. Yang Zi tried her best to take care of her son. Chapter 697. Yang Zi had a lot of opinions about this daughter-in-law. She raised her son with great difficulty, but the moment he married a daughter-in-law, he was ordered around by her. Yang Zi could tolerate it. After all, her son was in his 30s, and it wasn't easy for him to marry a daughter-in-law. If Kaianchi wasn't willing to do anything, Yang Zi would do it. But what Yang Zi couldn't stand the most was Kaianchi's heartlessness. She felt that her heart had been eaten by a dog. Kaianchi was an egoist. She only cared about herself and never cared about others. Kaianchi ate the noodles made by Wang Bo. It tasted terrible and she was furious. Back then, she chose Wang Bo because she saw that Yang Zi and her son were kind and kind. Anchi, my mother is old. You have to bear with her. Wang Bo looked at Kaianchi's unhappy face and explained, It wasn't easy for my mother to raise me all these years. If she did anything wrong, I'll apologize to you first. Kaianchi felt even worse when she heard Wang Bo saying, my mother. In the past, she felt that Wang Bo was honest and dull. But now, she felt that he was a mother's boy. He listened to his mother in everything and had no opinions or confidence. He was indeed a child from a single-parent family. Kai Anchi pushed the bowl and chopsticks away and said angrily, "I'm not eating anymore." When Kai Anchi stood up, the chair made an ear-piercing sound. In the silent night, it was very ear-piercing. Kai Anchi entered the bedroom and said to Wang Bo, "You'll sleep on the sofa today." Wang Bo frowned and reached out to block Kai Anchi from closing the door. He said in a low voice, "Anchi, don't be like this. We just got married. Mom will be worried." Kai Anchi was even angrier when she heard this. "Are you going to live with me or your mother?" Kai Anchi slammed the door shut with a loud bang. Even Ning Shu, who was next door, felt the wall shake twice. Ning Shu's mouth twitched. Kai Anchi's temper couldn't be described as violent. It could only be said that she had Yang Zi and her son under control. She could be angry whenever she wanted to, and she didn't have any scruples. It was as if a toad had eaten a swan's meat. Marrying you was a stroke of luck. If I hadn't married you, would you have been able to find a wife? This was the difference between liking someone and not liking someone. If Kai Anchi really liked Wang Bo, she definitely wouldn't have done this. She didn't care about Wang Bo's feelings. Today's conflict was actually all because of Ning Shu. If it was the original owner, Yang Zi, if Kai Anchi was hungry and wanted to eat, she would definitely cook for Kai Anchi. However, Ning Shu didn't care about her at all. That was why Kai Anchi was so angry. She felt that she should be spoiled. Moreover, Wang Bo's food was so disgusting. Wang Bo stood at the door in loneliness. In the end, he could only lie down on the sofa in the living room. Ning Shu walked out of the room and saw her lying on the small sofa with a pillow on her head. She looked pitiful. Ning Shu's heart was filled with a feeling of heartache. This was the feeling of the original owner. "What's the matter?" Ning Shu asked Wang Bo. Wang Bo sat up from the sofa. When he saw Ning Shu, he quickly said, "Nothing." Ning Shu said, "Couples will always quarrel. Understand each other and slowly get used to each other." "I'm fine. Go to sleep," Wang Bo said with a gloomy face. Wang Bo's heart was not very comfortable. They just got married and he was kicked out of the bedroom. Moreover, it was inexplicable. He was simply making trouble for no reason. Ning Shu said, "You also go to sleep early. You have to go to work tomorrow." Ning Shu turned and went back to the room. The next morning, Ning Shu got up to prepare breakfast for Wang Bo. Wang Bo slept on the sofa for the whole night. His whole body was uncomfortable. He didn't sleep well and his face was a bit ugly. The bedroom door didn't open for the whole night. Wang Bo went to the bedroom door and knocked hard. After knocking for a while, Kai Anchi didn't open the door. Wang Bo's face became more and more ugly. He kept knocking. "What are you knocking for? It's so early in the morning." Kai Anchi opened the door and said angrily. Kai Anchi's hair was fluffy. She was wearing pajamas with suspenders on her arms. A large part of her chest was exposed. Facing Kai Anchi, Wang Bo subconsciously gave in. He didn't ask why she didn't open the door for so long. He said, "I'm going to change clothes and go to work." Wang Bo walked into the bedroom and saw that the floor was littered with snack bags, cola bottles, and bits of powder, making the room look dirty and messy. Wang Bo took a shower and changed clothes. He looked at Kai Anchi lying on the bed and said, "It's time for breakfast." Kai Anchi had been hungry for the whole night. Snacks couldn't fill her stomach. When she heard that it was time for breakfast, she didn't insist. She went out of the bedroom and sat at the table. Breakfast was steamed buns and soy milk that Ning Shu went out to buy. Kai Anchi sat down and picked up the steamed buns with chopsticks. It seemed that she was hungry last night. Ning Shu didn't say anything. Wang Bo sat next to Kai Anchi and ate breakfast silently. After eating, he said to Kai Anchi, "I'm going to work." Kai Anchi had a steamed bun in her mouth. She just waved at Wang Bo. Wang Bo frowned. Seeing that it was getting late, he could only go to work. Ning Shu saw that Wang Bo was unhappy when he left, but he didn't say anything. He looked at Kai Anchi, who was drinking soy milk and eating fried dough sticks, and said, "Anchi, come with me to buy groceries." Kai Anchi almost choked on the fried dough stick. She swallowed the fried dough stick in her mouth and said, "I don't know how to buy groceries. Grandma, I don't need to go." Ning Shu had a smile on his face and said calmly, "You can learn if you don't know how to. I'll tell you that the groceries there are cheap and fresh." Kai Anchi curled her lips. "I'm not going to learn. You're going to live with Wang Bo in the future. I can still help now. When I'm old and can't move, you'll definitely be the one doing the laundry and cooking." Ning Shu said lightly. Kai Anchi's face turned green. Doing laundry and cooking? She still had to take care of this family? Kai Anchi said, "Grandma, you're too old-fashioned. It's the age of the internet. You can eat anything you want. Just a phone call and you can eat." Ning Shu raised his eyebrows. "Ordering takeout for the rest of your life? Granny, let me do the math for you. Every day, you'll have to pay for water, electricity, gas, meat, vegetables, oil, and you'll have to cook every day. So, it's more cost-effective to order meals." Kai Anchi counted with her fingers and said shrewdly. Ning Shu smiled. "If it's New Year's Eve or if it's a treat at home, do you think it's appropriate to order takeout? Since you're married, you should keep your heart in check. Today, come with me to buy groceries." Ning Shu said unquestionably. Kai Anchi's face was unhappy. After eating, she went back to her room and locked the door. Obviously, she didn't want to go to the market with Ning Shu. Ning Shu washed the dishes and went to knock on the door. Ning Shu knocked for a while, but Kai Anchi didn't open the door. Chapter 698. Ning Shu knocked on the door loudly, but Kai Anchi couldn't hear her, as if she was deaf. Ning Shu raised his eyebrows, found the key, and opened the bedroom door. Kai Anchi was naked, with no underwear on. She had headphones on and was typing on the keyboard. Then she touched her body with her hands. She rubbed her front. Kai Anchi was chatting with someone naked. Ning Shu was speechless. Ning Shu walked over and patted Kai Anchi's shoulder. Kai Anchi was so scared that her whole body spasmed. She turned around and saw Ning Shu. She quickly closed the laptop, covered her chest, and used one hand to cover her lower body. She was in a mess. Ning Shu sneered. She could even show it to men, but she was still acting like this in front of a woman. Ning Shu said indifferently, "What are you doing? You're not even wearing clothes." Kai Anchi couldn't hear what Ning Shu said. She quickly took off her headphones and preemptively asked Ning Shu, "Why didn't you knock before entering my room?" Ning Shu looked at Kai Anchi's body. Kai Anchi quickly took her clothes and rushed into the bathroom to put them on. Kai Anchi, who had put on her clothes, didn't look good. She said guiltily, "Why didn't you knock?" "I knocked. I knocked for a long time, but you didn't hear me." Ning Shu asked, "Why aren't you wearing clothes?" "I was chatting with my best friend." Kai Anchi lied. "It's a kind of game between sisters. Mother-in-law, you wouldn't understand." Ning Shu, just talk. Take off your clothes and chat. Do you think others are stupid?" Ning Shu just looked at Kai Anchi. Kai Anchi was a little uneasy under her gaze. She said, "Mother-in-law, Mom, why are you looking for me?" Ning Shu said, "Come with me to buy groceries." Kai Anchi was caught doing something bad. She felt very guilty and could only agree to go to the market with Ning Shu to buy groceries. Ning Shu asked Kai Anchi to take the basket, and the mother-in-law and daughter-in-law went out to buy vegetables. Kai Anchi was worried that her mother-in-law would tell Wang Bo about this. Ning Shu asked, "Mother-in-law," Kai Anchi didn't know what to say. She couldn't just ask this old woman if she knew what she was doing just now. Looking at Kai Anchi's constipated expression, Ning Shu sneered in his heart and asked, "What's the matter?" Kai Anchi quickly shook her head. "I'm fine." It was the dog days of summer. Even in the morning, it was still very hot. Kai Anchi was sweating profusely from the sun. Moreover, she walked to the market under the sun. It was simply terrible. Kai Anchi was furious. She wanted to smash the basket on Ning Shu's head, but she didn't dare. She could only follow Ning Shu obediently. When Kai Anchi saw how relaxed Ning Shu was walking, she felt as if a cat was scratching her heart. It was not easy to get to the market. Kai Anchi's clothes were almost wet with sweat. In this kind of weather, she should stay at home and enjoy the air conditioner. Every time Ning Shu passed by a vegetable stall, she would pick and choose. Kai Anchi was very impatient beside her. Ning Shu said, The vegetables here are very fresh, and I know the boss. I'm talking to you. Do you hear me? Ning Shu said to Kai Anchi. Kai Anchi was so hot that she kept fanning herself with her hands. When she heard Ning Shu's words, she nodded casually. I remember. After choosing half of a winter melon and putting it in the basket, Kai Anchi exclaimed and carried the heavy basket with both hands. Ning Shu continued to stroll in the market. Kai Anchi carried the heavy basket and followed Ning Shu. Her face was pale with exhaustion. Ning Shu took a long time to pick the vegetables. Kai Anchi carried the basket. Her palms were red and she was very angry. She really wanted to throw the basket on the ground. Ning Shu chose an old hen. The live old hen was put in a bag. Ning Shu stuffed it into Kai Anchi's hands. Kai Anchi smelled the stench and felt uncomfortable all over. Ning Shu bought some vegetables one after another. The heavy ones were given to Kai Anchi. He carried the light ones himself. Kai Anchi's face became paler. She was hot and sad. She was carrying so many things in her hands. After strolling in the market for almost an hour, Kai Anchi stumbled with the things in her hands. Coming out of the market, she had to walk back to the community. Kai Anchi wanted to die. She cursed Ning Shu, who was walking in front of her, in her heart. She was a fucking evil mother-in-law. She said that she was honest, but she was obviously bad. Ning Shu naturally saw Kai Anchi's pale and resentful face. He did not say anything. She wouldn't be like the original owner, treating her with respect. They met an acquaintance in the community garden. Ning Shu introduced her to Kai Anchi. This is Auntie Li from the 5th floor. Auntie Li, Kai Anchi shouted. Auntie Li looked Kai Anchi up and down. She smiled and said, "Your wife is very beautiful. She's shopping with you." Ning Shu had a peaceful smile on his face. "She's a good girl. She went grocery shopping with me in the morning. She said that I'm old and even helped me carry things." Kai Anchi roared in her heart. "Who wants to go grocery shopping with you? Who wants to help you carry things?" "Oh, you also bought an old hen," Auntie Li said. Ning Shu nodded. "I bought a chicken to nourish the child's body. After nourishing the body, she will be pregnant." Auntie Li looked at Kai Anchi. "She's a bit thin. She needs more nourishment. Nourishment your head." It was not easy for her to maintain such a perfect figure. She was not a sow. She could not give birth to children whenever she wanted. Kai Anchi was very annoyed. She listened to these two old women mumbling nonstop. The weather was hot and she was sweating. She had so many things in her hands that it hurt. "Your mother-in-law is a good person. You are lucky to have such a generous mother-in-law," Auntie Li said to Kai Anchi. Kai Anchi's mouth twitched. "What good person?" Kai Anchi said to Ning Shu, "Mom, I'll send the things up first." Ning Shu nodded and said to Auntie Li, "Let's play mahjong together later. I'll leave first." Because they lived on a higher floor, they often met acquaintances when climbing the stairs. Ning Shu would introduce his daughter-in-law to these people. They would talk for a long time once they started talking. Kai Anchi could only watch these people talk. She was so tired that her heart was about to break down. Kai Anchi's mouth was dry and sweat rolled down her body. She felt like she was going to get a heat stroke. In the blink of an eye, it was almost 11 o'clock when she got home. Once she got home, Kai Anchi quickly put down the things in her hands. She raised her hands and saw that her palms were red from the pressure. Kai Anchi gulped down 2 cups of water and prepared to take a bath and lie down. She had never been so tired. Ning Shu stopped Kai Anchi and said, "Come and kill the chicken with me. Help me pluck the feathers." Kai Anchi looked at Ning Shu in disbelief. She did not want to do this kind of thing. She said angrily, "I don't know how to." Chapter 699. Kai Anchi never thought that Ning Shu would ask her to kill a chicken and pluck its feathers. She was a fashionable and beautiful person. Why would she do such a thing? Kai Anchi quickly shook her head. "I won't. I really won't." She felt horrified just thinking about it. "You can learn if you don't know." "You'll slowly learn," Ning Shu said lightly. "I'm going to boil some water. Come and help me later. I'll ask Wang Bo to come back and try your cooking at noon." "Grandma, I really won't do such a thing," Kai Anchi said helplessly. but she was cursing Ning Shu in her heart. Why would she do such a thing? Kai Anchi regretted choosing this family. They looked honest, but in fact they were thinking of ways to torture people. Kai Anchi rolled her eyes and said, "I'm suffering from a heat stroke." Ning Shu looked at Kai Anchi and said, "There's medicine for relieving heat. Essential balm mixed with Huaxiang Jingqi water." Ning Shu said as she took out the Huaxiang Vital Energy Water and Essential Balm Oil. She cut open the bottle of Huaxiang Vital Energy Water and handed it to Kai Anchi. Drink a small bottle of Huaxiang Vital Energy Water first and apply some Essential Balm Oil on it. Kai Anchi looked at the Huaxiang Jingqi water in Ning Shu's hand. Just looking at the color was unbearable. She quickly waved her hand and said, "I'll be fine after lying down. I don't want to drink this." Ning Shu's face changed. He stuffed the Huaxiang Jingqi water into Kai Anchi's hand and said, "Drink it. You're my daughter-in-law. Wang Bo will feel sorry for you if you're sick." "Grandma, I don't want to drink it." Kai Anchi wanted to throw it away. "Didn't you suffer from a heat stroke? Drink it." Ning Shu held Kai Anchi's hand and poured the Huaxiang Jingqi water into her mouth. Kai Anchi was forced to drink 2 mouthfuls. Suddenly, an indescribable taste rushed into her mouth. There was also a smell of alcohol. When she drank it, she felt a burning sensation in her stomach. Kai Anchi coughed twice and almost cried. Ning Shu took the essential balm and said, "Apply some on your temples." Kai Anchi waved her hand. "I feel much better after drinking this. I don't need to apply it." "That's good." Ning Shu smiled gently. "I'll go get some hot water and help kill the chicken later." Kai Anchi's heart was about to explode. She wanted to fall out with this old woman, but she remembered that she had been caught red-handed. The old woman probably didn't know what she was doing, but there was no guarantee that she wouldn't tell Wang Bo. Although Wang Boren was honest and loyal, he was still a young man. Kai Anchi still didn't want to give up on Wang Bo. Wang Bo had a good temper and could be hit or scolded. As long as she apologized and softened her attitude, he wouldn't mind. Kai Anchi could only walk towards the kitchen helplessly. Ning Shu boiled some hot water and took out the chicken from the bag. The chicken's feet were tied and it was lying on the ground. Ning Shu saw Kai Anchi standing at the door and said, "Come in quickly." Kai Anchi reluctantly entered the kitchen. Ning Shu closed the kitchen door. Kai Anchi asked, "Why did you close the door?" "Lest chickens fly everywhere." Kai Anchi became even more irritable. "Let's kill the chicken first." Ning Shu stuffed the kitchen knife into Kai Anchi's hand and picked up the hen. He said to Kai Anchi, "Pluck some of the feathers from the chicken's neck. It'll be easier to bleed later." Kai Anchi looked at the hen that was making cooing sounds. Her heart trembled. She reached out her hand to pluck the feathers, but the hen pecked at her hand. Kai Anchi suddenly screamed in pain. The back of her hand was bruised by the hen's peck. Ning Shu sighed. "Why didn't you grab the chicken's head first before plucking the feathers?" Kai Anchi was furious. "Why didn't you say it first? Why did you grab the chicken's head with the kitchen knife in your other hand?" "Grandma, my hand hurts. I don't want to kill the chicken." Kai Anchi said pitifully. Ning Shu didn't care and said, "It's okay. The first time I killed a chicken, I cut my hand." Kai Anchi could see that this old woman wanted her to kill the chicken. Kai Anchi cursed Ning Shu's 18 generations of ancestors in her heart. She looked at the hen with a particularly fierce gaze. She pulled the hen's head and violently plucked its feathers, causing the hen's neck to bleed. "Okay, now take the knife and cut the chicken's neck to bleed," Ning Shu said. Kai Anchi picked up the kitchen knife. She didn't cut the hen's throat like Ning Shu said. Instead, she used the kitchen knife to chop off the hen's neck. Blood splashed everywhere. Kai Anchi's face was also splashed with blood. Kai Anchi screamed, threw away the kitchen knife, and turned on the tap to wash her face. Ning Shu put the hen in a basin and scalded it with hot water. It would be easier to pluck the feathers later. "Okay, now you can pluck the feathers," Ning Shu said to Kai Anchi. Kai Anchi felt that she was about to collapse. She gritted her teeth and squatted down to pluck the feathers. The chicken was a little smelly. After being scalded by the hot water, the stench was emitted. There seemed to be the stench of chicken poop. Kai Anchi was about to vomit. She tilted her head and plucked the feathers. Ning Shu only glanced at her indifferently and continued to cut the vegetables leisurely. Kai Anchi looked at her hands. She had painstakingly done her nails. The bright diamonds on them had all fallen off. Because her nails were too long, they would break if she didn't pay attention. It was very painful. Kai Anchi was so annoyed that she was about to die. She plucked the chicken's feathers. Anchi, you have to pluck some of the small feathers. Ning Shu instructed Kai Anchi. Kai Anchi was speechless. Kai Anchi's face was pale. Because she rarely did such things, she felt very uncomfortable. In addition, it was the dog days of summer. Kai Anchi was very tired carrying so many things. It wasn't easy to pluck the feathers. When Kai Anchi stood up, she saw stars and almost couldn't stand. Ning Shu said, "Wash the chicken, then cut it open and take out the internal organs." Kai Anchi directly ran out of the kitchen and rushed to the bathroom to vomit. Ning Shu smiled slightly. He put the hen in the sink and took care of the internal organs. When Kai Anchi came out of the bathroom, her face was pale. Seeing Ning Shu take the chicken out, she sighed in relief. Then she heard Ning Shu say, "Wash your hands and come over to cook." Kai Anchi immediately said, "I won't do it. I don't know how." Ning Shu smiled kindly and said, "It's okay. You'll learn slowly." "I don't want to learn." Kai Anchi was very uncomfortable now. She wanted to lie down and rest. Ning Shu still smiled kindly. "Hurry up. It's almost noon. Wang Bo will come back for lunch. He will be very happy to eat the food you cook." Kai Anchi's chest rose and fell. Her face was a little ferocious. She roared in her heart. Who was Wang Bo to let her cook for him? Ning Shu looked at Kai Anchi indifferently. Kai Anchi gritted her teeth and walked into the kitchen to wash her hands and cook. Ning Shu ordered her, "Pour the oil. Turn down the heat. The oil is smoking. Hurry up and pour the vegetables." Kai Anchi hurriedly threw the vegetables into the pot. As a result, the oil spilled out and splashed Kai Anchi's body. It was summer and she didn't wear much. It hurt when the oil splashed on her body. Some even splashed on her face. Kai Anchi was so scared that she directly threw the spatula into the pot and ran out of the kitchen. Chapter 700. Ning Shu asked Kai Anchi to cook. When Kai Anchi was splashed with oil, she immediately rushed to the bathroom and washed herself with cold water. She was afraid that there would be ugly scars on her body. Ning Shu saw that Kai Anchi ran away without a care. He took the spatula and cooked. He put in some simple seasoning and turned off the fire. "Let me see if you're scalded." Ning Shu went into the bathroom and asked Kai Anchi. Kai Anchi's face was very ugly. Her white and tender skin was going to have a scar. "If you're fine, continue cooking," Ning Shu said. Kai Anchi was angry. "I said I don't know how to cook. Why do you insist that I do it? If you don't have money to order, I'll pay for it myself." Ning Shu had a wide smile on his face and looked very kind. "Anchi, this is not a matter of money. Wang Bo has to work to support the family. You don't have to work, so you should take care of the family." Kai Anchi looked at the old woman's fake smile and cursed the hypocritical old woman in her heart. Kai Anchi's face was very ugly. "Should I be a haggard woman who does the housework? Responsibility. Since you're married to Wang Bo, you have a responsibility to the family." Ning Shu said, "Husband and wife have different responsibilities. It's your job to take care of the family. Of course, you can go out and find a job. I'll take care of the family." Kai Anchi sneered and said with malice, "You make it sound so nice. You've done your duty to the family, but in the end, you've become a haggard woman who was dumped by your husband." Ning Shu's heart twitched and anger emerged in his heart. Ning Shu's face turned cold and said coldly, "Do you think my son can't be without you, so you're so unscrupulous?" Kai Anchi saw that Ning Shu was angry, but she was not afraid. The most annoying thing was that she looked like a good person. She said proudly, "You can also ask Wang Bo to divorce me. I don't care." Ning Shu just looked at Kai Anchi silently and asked, "You don't want to do the housework?" Kai Anchi raised her chin and said, "I don't want to be a haggard woman who only knows how to do housework all day." Ning Shu nodded and said, That means we'll be ordering in the future? Yes, just order. Kai Anchi said with disdain. If you don't want to pay, then I will. All right, let's order then. Since you said you'll pay, then you'll pay. Ning Shu said indifferently. Kai Anchi suddenly choked in her heart. Ning Shu went back to the kitchen and chopped up the chicken to make soup. Kai Anchi curled her lips and went back to her bedroom to rest. She was really exhausted today. Ning Shu stewed the chicken soup and waited for Kai Anchi to order the other dishes. Ning Shu went to knock on Kai Anchi's door. Kai Anchi had just taken a shower and was lying down. She opened the door angrily and asked impatiently, "What's wrong now?" "Wang Bo will be back for lunch soon. Let's order the food," Ning Shu said. Kai Anchi curled her lips and took out her phone to order the food. She ordered quite a lot of dishes. Ning Shu didn't say anything. After all, she wasn't the one who was paying. Kai Anchi raised her phone and said proudly, "You see, a matter that can be solved with a phone call. Why is it so troublesome?" Ning Shu smiled slightly. He hoped that when he gave the money later, his heart wouldn't bleed. Not long after, the food delivery man came. Ning Shu said to Kai Anchi, "Pay up?" Kai Anchi's face suddenly turned ugly. She stood still and the food delivery man stood at the door waiting to collect the money. Ning Shu said with a smile, "I'll pay. You come with me tomorrow to buy groceries and cook. This way, it's fresh and cost-effective." Kai Anchi stomped her feet and snorted. She went back to her bedroom and took out her wallet. She took out a few red notes from her wallet and gave them to the food delivery man. Ning Shu saw that Kai Anchi's wallet was a famous brand. A wallet cost thousands. She was really rich. Kai Anchi, who gave the money, didn't look good. She deliberately made some noise when she walked. Ning Shu acted as if he didn't hear anything. He called Wang Bo and asked him to come back for dinner. When Wang Bo came back from work, he saw a table full of delicious food. Ning Shu asked, "Did you order the food?" Ning Shu nodded. "Anchi doesn't want to cook. She said that she will order food in the future." Wang Bo frowned and said, "How much is this?" Wang Bo was a working man. The pressure of supporting the family was on him. The food on the table was a few hundred yuan. His daily salary was a few hundred yuan. Kai Anchi heard Wang Bo's words when she came out of the bedroom. Her face darkened. She pulled out a chair and sat down. "I'm the one paying, not you." Kai Anchi's face was cold. Her words were very rude. It was very embarrassing. Wang Bo couldn't help but look at his mother. Ning Shu acted as if he didn't hear anything and was pouring soup. Wang Bo felt very embarrassed. He didn't know how to refute Kai Anchi. His nose trembled as he took a deep breath and said, "Anchi, thank you." When Ning Shu heard this, he really wanted to pour a bowl of chicken soup on Wang Bo's face. "Thank you." Kai Anchi snorted and picked up the bowl to eat. Wang Bo could only eat. Wang Bo ate very quickly. Ning Shu put the chicken soup in front of Wang Bo and said, "Drink it. Anchi killed this chicken soup. She stewed it for you." Wang Bo's face immediately showed a smile. He said to Kai Anchi, "Thank you." Kai Anchi nodded. Wang Bo drank a bowl of chicken soup and went to work after dinner. After dinner, Kai Anchi pushed the bowl away and went back to her bedroom, locking the door from the inside. Ning Shu saw that there was a lot of food left on the table. He poured it out and cleaned it up. He went into the room to practice his ultimate martial arts. For half a day, Kai Anchi and Ning Shu didn't talk much. They both locked themselves in the room. In the evening, Wang Bo was about to get off work. Ning Shu knocked on Kai Anchi's door and said, "It's nighttime. It's time to order." "Order again? Didn't we just order at noon?" Kai Anchi raised her voice. Ning Shu smiled kindly and said, "You said leftovers were unhealthy, so I threw them all away." "You threw away so many dishes?" Kai Anchi was very angry. "I didn't use your money. Why are you so wasteful?" You didn't feel bad when you used other people's money. You only know the pain when you poke your own body." Ning Shu's expression didn't change. "You were the one who ordered. You said leftovers were bad for the body, so I threw them away." "You." Kai Anchi was so angry that her chest heaved up and down. She cursed in her heart. This old woman. To hell with being honest. She was obviously an evil mother-in-law. Ning Shu's expression didn't change. He said, "It's night time. It's time to order." Kai Anchi grabbed Ning Shu's arm and said coquettishly, "Mother-in-law, your cooking is delicious. I like eating your cooking the most. Moreover, the food at home is clean and hygienic." Ning Shu had a kind smile on his face. He gently patted Kai Anchi's hand that was hanging on his arm and said, "You are also a woman. You should know that at my age, menopause makes my body uncomfortable. Cooking is too difficult." Chapter 701. Kai Anchi wanted to ask Ning Shu to cook, but he mentioned menopause, which made Kai Anchi furious. He really thought of himself as an old lady enjoying life. Kai Anchi had no choice but to order. But this time, she ordered less than at noon. There were only 3 dishes and 1 soup. Unlike at noon, half of the table was spread out. The person who delivered the food came. Kai Anchi took out the money from her wallet with a dark face. The more Kai Anchi thought about it, the angrier she became. She was married and had to wear clothes and eat. Why did she have to support this big family? The more Kai Anchi thought about it, the angrier she became. Seeing Ning Shu setting the table, Ning Shu said, "Since your mother-in-law is not feeling well and can't take care of the house, then Wang Bo's salary should be given to me." Ning Shu raised his eyebrows and said, "Let's talk about it when Wang Bo comes back. Let's see what he has to say." Kai Anchi's tense face relaxed a little. Wang Bo would definitely give her the money as long as she treated him a little better. Wang Bo, who came back from a day's work, looked a little tired. Kai Anchi greeted him and the first thing she said was, "Wang Bo, you will give me your salary card, right?" Wang Bo was stunned for a moment. He was now at a loss and looked at Ning Shu. Ning Shu said, "Wash your hands first and eat." Wang Bo bypassed Kai Anchi and went to the bathroom to wash his hands. Kai Anchi saw that Wang Bo was so obedient to Ning Shu. She stomped her feet and looked unhappy. Wang Bo washed his hands and sat on the chair. Seeing the dishes on the table, he was silent for a moment and asked, "You ordered again? What do you think?" Kai Anchi sat next to Wang Bo and said, "You need money to order. Wang Bo, your mother-in-law is not in good health and can't take care of the house. Give me your salary card." Wang Bo frowned and said, "I still think it's better to cook at home." Kai Anchi put down her chopsticks and said, "You're not the one cooking. It's easy for you to say it." Seeing Kai Anchi being so aggressive, Wang Bo couldn't say a word for a long time. Ning Shu saw Wang Bo's unhappy face and understood why he was angry. Because there wasn't a single dish on the table that Wang Bo liked, Kai Anchi only ordered what she liked. When one person didn't care about the other, it could be seen from the details. Kai Anchi didn't like the honest and dull Wang Bo. She chose Wang Bo because he was honest. Even if he discovered something, an honest person would endure it. Although she had a mother-in-law, Wang Bo was an honest and considerate person. She wouldn't suffer if she married him. In addition, her family was urging her to get married. Kai Anchi knew her situation. If she really married into a family with better conditions, she would definitely be abandoned by the man because it was not easy for her to get pregnant because she had a few abortions. She might as well come to a family like Wang Bo's. They would definitely hold her and dote on her. Wang Bo's family was not bad. Wang Bo had a job and a house. Ning Shu said to Wang Bo, "Anchi is your wife. It's reasonable to give her money." Kai Anchi looked at Ning Shu with some suspicion. She didn't believe that this old woman would be so kind. Ning Shu said again, "But you can't give all the money to Anchi. How about this? Leave your salary card with me and give Anchi half of the money every month." Half of the money was 4,000 to 5,000 yuan. "I'll save the other half for you first. With some money left, you won't be at a loss when you encounter problems in the future," Ning Shu said. "You have to have a child. It will definitely cost a lot. I'll save it." Kai Anchi was suddenly dissatisfied. After all, the salary card was still in the hands of this old woman. It was up to her whether to give money or not. Did she have to beg this old woman to give money? Hearing Ning Shu's words, Wang Bo nodded and said, "Okay." Kai Anchi was so angry that she wanted to throw away her chopsticks and leave. But she thought that this old woman would throw away the leftovers later. She would have to starve for the whole night. This was the meal she ordered with money. Why shouldn't she eat it? Kai Anchi looked at Wang Bo's honest appearance and was so angry in her heart. Damn, at least a man who indulged in debauchery understood women and knew what they needed. Kai Anchi had met a lot of men before. If she needed something, the men would give it to her before she could say it. They served her well and racked their brains to make her happy. Although they broke up in the end, at least they had a comfortable life. Kai Anchi liked the feeling of being pursued. Kai Anchi also met a man she liked. She was naturally gentle in front of the person she liked. Although she was abandoned in the end, she was willing. But a man like Wang Bo made Kai Anchi very angry. His brain was filled with grass. He didn't understand romance and didn't know how to be romantic. Kai Anchi suppressed the anger in her heart and waited for the two to talk alone at night. At night, Kai Anchi and Wang Bo were lying in bed. Kai Anchi stroked Wang Bo's chest and said, "Wang Bo, give me your salary card. I'll take care of the house. Your mother's health is not good. Let her be an old lady." Wang Bo thought for a moment and said, "I'll leave the card with my mother." Kai Anchi immediately sat up and kicked Wang Bo. "Wang Bo, I'm your wife. Why did you give your salary card to your mother? You didn't treat me as your wife at all. Why did I marry you? Why did I marry you?" Kai Anchi's voice was so loud that Ning Shu could hear it from next door. Wang Bo was kicked by Kai Anchi and felt a little pain. But seeing the pretty Kai Anchi, he endured it and said, "Mother is doing it for our good. She's planning for our future." Kai Anchi said even louder, "If it's really for our good, then she should give me her salary card. If she wants her salary card, she can find an old man and marry him. The old man has a pension for her." Wang Bo's face darkened. He couldn't help but refute, "You're going too far. What do you mean find an old man and marry him? Don't tell me she wants to marry a 20-year-old young man? She has to look at herself first," Kai Anchi said with disdain. "Enough, Kai Anchi. She's my mother. Can't you show her some respect?" Wang Bo couldn't help but say, "I didn't say that to my mother-in-law. My mother and father are fine. She was thrown away by a man like trash." Kai Anchi saw Wang Bo protecting his mother and became even angrier. Fuck, this was the man she chose. She thought he would love his wife, but he turned out to be a mother's boy. Wang Bo was so angry that he gave Kai Anchi a backhand slap. The sound of the slap stunned both of them. Kai Anchi was stunned. She covered her face with her hands, her face full of disbelief. Wang Bo regretted it immediately. He never wanted to hit Kai Anchi. At that time, blood rushed to his head and he hit her in a daze. Wang Bo carefully called out to Kai Anchi, "Anchi." Kai Anchi covered her face and shouted hatefully, "Who do you think you are? How dare you hit me? What right do you have to hit me?" Chapter 702. Kai Anchi looked down on Wang Bo in her heart. She thought that marrying Wang Bo was marrying beneath her status. Wang Bo should love her, protect her, and listen to her. Now that Wang Bo hit Kai Anchi felt offended. She was so angry that she wanted to scratch Wang Bo. What the hell? To put it bluntly, Kai Anchi felt that she deserved a better man. A man who was rich, powerful, handsome, and romantic. She married a man who had nothing. He even hit her. Seeing Kai Anchi like this, Wang Bo was very angry with himself, but he also felt sorry for Kai Anchi. He kept apologizing, "Anchi, I didn't do it on purpose. Don't cry." Kai Anchi immediately said, "Then give me your salary card." He couldn't just let it go after hitting her. Wang Bo suddenly frowned and didn't know what to do for a long time. Kai Anchi saw him like this and felt even more annoyed. She directly pushed Wang Bo out of the bedroom. "You sleep in the living room tonight." Then he slammed the door shut with a bang. Wang Bo stood outside the closed door and fidgeted with his hair. He wanted to knock on the door, but when he thought about how he just hit Kai Anchi, he felt guilty. Wang Bo could only sleep on the sofa in the living room. Ning Shu took out a mat and pillow and laid it out. He said to Wang Bo, "Don't sleep on the sofa. It's not comfortable." Wang Bo saw Ning Shu and a guilty expression appeared on his face. Ning Shu smiled and said, "Couples live their lives together. They promote each other, support each other, complement each other's strengths and weaknesses, and accompany each other for life. If one of them has a different thought, the marriage won't last long. When your father fell in love with someone else, so what if we forced ourselves to be together? When I saw your father thinking about another woman, I felt sad. I simply ended the marriage and didn't feel sad. Ning Shu looked at Wang Bo. I don't have any wishes. I just hope that you can be happy. Wang Bo took a deep breath. He looked very tired. Ning Shu smiled reluctantly. I know. Have a good rest. Ning Shu didn't ask Kai Anchi why she let his son sleep on the sofa in the living room. It would only make it harder for Wang Bo to be sandwiched in the middle. Wang Bo was not a shrewd and tactful person to begin with. He could mediate the conflict between two women. The relationship between mother-in-law and daughter-in-law was a natural and irreconcilable class contradiction. In this lifetime, Yang Zi had poured all her efforts into her son. She endured the mentality of marrying a wife is equivalent to losing a son. In the end, her beloved son was ruined by a woman. What did she take her son for? A woman with no self-respect, and self-respect was superior to her son. The next morning, Ning Shu made breakfast for Wang Bo. Wang Bo glanced at the closed door and knocked. Kai Anchi was still angry. When she opened the door, she was still angry. Wang Bo was in a bad mood. He wanted to apologize, but he was afraid that she would not listen to him. Wang Bo changed his clothes and went to work. Kai Anchi was furious when she saw Wang Bo leave just like that. What kind of person is he? Ning Shu saw a red mark on Kai Anchi's face. It was obvious that Wang Bo had hit her last night. Kai Anchi sensed Ning Shu's gaze. She rolled her eyes and slammed the door. Ning Shu ignored her. If she didn't want to eat, then forget it. After a while, Kai Anchi was dressed neatly and even put on makeup. Her hair was slightly curly like seaweed. She smelled good and carried a branded bag in her hand. Kai Anchi was very beautiful when she dressed up. Kai Anchi felt that she should play more while she was young. Only then would she live up to her beauty and youth. Ning Shu raised his eyebrows and asked, "Where are you going so early in the morning?" "I'm going home." Wang Bo is domestic violence. Kai Anchi said coldly. Ning Shu curled his lips and said, "That's true. It's best if everyone can calm down. When are you coming back?" Kai Anchi looked at the smile on Ning Shu's face and was confused. Could it be that she was looking forward to her leaving? Kai Anchi suddenly didn't want to leave. Was it because this old woman didn't want to give her money? Kai Anchi made a fuss last night. Seeing that Wang Bo didn't compromise and give her a salary card, Kai Anchi knew that she had to take things slowly. Now that she saw that this old woman didn't care at all about her returning home, Kai Anchi was unhappy. Ning Shu looked at Kai Anchi standing there. Her eyes were constantly moving and her false eyelashes were blinking. He said, "Do you want to eat breakfast and leave?" Kai Anchi saw that Ning Shu was urging her to leave. She became more and more suspicious. She sat on the chair and ate breakfast. She said, "It's so hot. I don't want to go back. Give me half of Wang Bo's salary." Kai Anchi asked Ning Shu for money. Ning Shu nodded. "Come with me later." Kai Anchi's expression relaxed. After breakfast, Kai Anchi went to the balcony to make a phone call. Although she spoke softly, Ning Shu practiced peerless martial arts. His hearing was a lot sharper. "I'm not going to play with you. The old woman at home is looking forward to me leaving. She probably thinks that I'm an eyesore and wants to take my money. Moreover, in a single-parent family like Wang Bo, who lives with his mother, maybe the old woman's feelings for her son are a bit perverted. She even urged me to leave. I'm not going." Ning Shu heard this and couldn't help but raise his eyebrows. To some extent, Wang Bo was Yang Zi's spiritual support, but he wasn't as bad as Kai Anchi said. "She's a weirdo. She actually wants me to kill a chicken and cook. She wants me to become an old woman like her. When I get the money, I'll play with you." Ning Shu changed his clothes and said to Kai Anchi, "Come with me." Kai Anchi hung up the phone and saw Ning Shu carrying a basket. She couldn't help but ask, "You want to buy vegetables?" Ning Shu stuffed the basket into Kai Anchi's hands and said, "Go to the bank to withdraw money first." Kai Anchi thought that Ning Shu was going to give her money, so she carried the basket and followed Ning Shu out. The weather was very hot, so she was sweating. Kai Anchi had makeup on her face, which made her makeup a bit smudged. Ning Shu said, "Let's take a taxi to the bank." Ning Shu shook his head. "It's just a few steps. There's no need to take a taxi. The starting fee is 10 yuan. What a waste." Kai Anchi bit her lips and said coldly, "I'll pay." She was dressed so beautifully, but she was carrying a basket. It was simply. Ning Shu smiled and said, "We'll be there in 2 steps. There's no need to take a taxi. It's rush hour now, so it's easy to get stuck in traffic." Kai Anchi was so angry that she wanted to die. She was wearing high heels, so walking was very tiring. Her feet were a bit sore. Finally, they arrived at the bank. Ning Shu went to withdraw money. There was a long line. Kai Anchi felt that she was going to die. It was so hot, and her face was sticky. Her beautiful makeup must have been smudged after walking so long. Her feet were very sore from the friction. Chapter 703. After waiting for a long time, Ning Shu finally got the money. Kai Anchi immediately said, "Grandma, give me the money." Ning Shu said, "We'll talk about it when we get back. Don't leak the money." Kai Anchi was dissatisfied, but she couldn't take it by force. She cursed Ning Shu in her heart. "I'll make you pay for this old woman one day." After leaving the bank, Ning Shu said to Kai Anchi, "Let's go to the market." Kai Anchi immediately got angry. "Why are we going to the market? Give me the money, and I'll order the food." Ning Shu said calmly, "Wang Bo doesn't like the food you ordered. I'll buy some food and make him something he likes." Kai Anchi muttered, "It's all food as long as it's edible. You go to the market." "I won't go." Kai Anchi handed the basket to Ning Shu. Ning Shu didn't take the basket and said, "You go with me, so you'll know what Wang Bo likes to eat when you order the food. You can order 1 or 2 dishes that Wang Bo likes to eat. You can just tell me what Wang Bo likes to eat. Why do we need to go to the market?" Kai Anchi was wearing high heels, so she couldn't walk too much. She was dressed so beautifully. She wasn't the kind of person who would go to the dirty and crowded market. Ning Shu reached out and took Kai Anchi's arm and said, "You can walk with me. We can talk and solve any misunderstandings. It's not like I can't give you Wang Bo's salary card." Kai Anchi wanted to shake off Ning Shu's hand, but she couldn't. Seeing Ning Shu staring at her, she said, "Okay." Kai Anchi was doing it for the sake of the salary card. Ning Shu smiled. It was a long way to go back to the market. Kai Anchi was carrying the basket in her hand, and her feet were a little unnatural when she walked. She walked too much, and her high heels hurt. Ning Shu pretended not to see anything and did not ask her what happened to her foot. When they arrived at the market, Ning Shu picked and chose along the way. The ground of the market was a little dirty. Kai Anchi was afraid that her beautiful shoes would be dirty, so she walked carefully. Beads of sweat rolled down Kai Anchi's face, and her feet hurt. However, Ning Shu had to go to several stalls to buy groceries. For a 10-cent discount, she could go to several stalls, and Kai Anchi had to run behind her. It was crowded and stuffy. Kai Anchi saw that Ning Shu's face wasn't red and he wasn't out of breath. He was picking things energetically. How could he be unwell? He didn't know how healthy he was, but he didn't want to cook. Having such a mother-in-law, Kai Anchi felt that she was really unlucky for 8 lifetimes. If she had known that the old woman was so stingy, she would not have married him. Ning Shu stuffed the selected vegetables into the basket. Kai Anchi's face turned green. Ning Shu went to the fish stall again and said to Kai Anchi, "Wang Bo likes to eat braised fish." Kai Anchi didn't care about Ning Shu's words at all. The place where the fish were sold was full of water, and the ground was dirty. Kai Anchi didn't know where to put her feet. The shoes on her feet were not cheap. Ning Shu picked up a fish from the water and looked at it over and over. He said to Kai Anchi, "The fish can't be too big. If it's too big, the meat will be too tough. It's just right." Kai Anchi nodded carelessly. The fish in Ning Shu's hand moved and slipped from Ning Shu's hand. It fell to the ground and splashed the dirty water on the ground. The dirty water splashed on Kai Anchi's shoes and stockings. Kai Anchi immediately jumped up, but in the end, she splashed even more dirty water. Kai Anchi was so angry that she was about to cry. Ning Shu said, "It's okay. Go back and wash it with water." "How can my shoes be washed with water? I have to go to a specialty store to get them cleaned. Do you know how expensive it is to get them cleaned once?" Kai Anchi roared loudly, which attracted the attention of the people around them. Kai Anchi pursed her lips tightly. Her face turned green, and her eyeliner was a little blurry. When it was opened, it looked like a panda's eyes. Her false eyelashes were stuck together. Ning Shu said resentfully. Kai Anchi said, "How long do you want to buy them?" Ning Shu picked up the fish on the ground slowly and let the shopkeeper weigh it. Then he put the fish in the basket. The live fish kept swaying in the basket. Kai Anchi really wanted to throw the basket away. She kept comforting herself. As long as she got Wang Bo's salary card, everything would be fine. Kai Anchi saw that Ning Shu was still wandering around and asked angrily, "You bought so many things. What else do you want to buy?" Ning Shu said calmly, "I want to buy some green onions." Kai Anchi was so angry that she didn't have the energy to throw a tantrum. Her feet were going to be crippled. She wanted to sit down and take off her shoes to rest her feet. Ning Shu bought some green onions and held them in his hand. Ning Shu looked through the basket and said, "Let me see if there's anything else I haven't bought. I'm old and my memory isn't good." "Okay, I bought everything. Let's go back," Ning Shu said. Kai Anchi endured the burning pain in her feet and followed Ning Shu out of the market. There was still some distance between the market and the neighborhood. Her weight and the things in the basket were all on her feet. It was too fucking painful. Kai Anchi felt horrified just thinking about it. Kai Anchi limped behind Ning Shu. Ning Shu looked at her and said, "Why didn't you buy more comfortable shoes? It's just a short walk. Take off your shoes and walk barefoot," Ning Shu said to Kai Anchi. Kai Anchi heard this and immediately said, "I don't want to." She would rather walk home in pain than be beautiful. Ning Shu smiled. Kai Anchi was dizzy from the sun. Her feet hurt, her head was dizzy, and her mouth was dry. She had never suffered so much. If she went out with this old woman again, she would be a pig. Kai Anchi's feet were in pain. Every step she took was like being pricked by needles. Kai Anchi had to take off her shoes and walk barefoot. It was the dog days of summer. The sun was so hot that one could fry an egg. Although it wasn't as hot as noon, it was still quite hot. Kai Anchi carried her shoes in one hand and the basket in the other. Seeing Ning Shu's carefree appearance, she was so angry that her whole body trembled. She threw the basket on the ground and left the stall. "I won't carry it. I can't carry it." For Wang Bo's meager monthly salary, she braved the hot sun and her beautiful skin was scorched by the sun. She had enough of following this old woman around like a maid. Fuck, look at what kind of life she was living. She might as well go out and play. It was easy and she had money. Ning Shu raised his eyebrows. Looking at the things scattered on the ground, he said, "What's wrong with you? Why are you suddenly angry? It's so hot. Hurry up and go home. Don't you young people like to be beautiful? Ultraviolet light makes you look 10 years older." Ning Shu said as he picked up the things on the ground and put them in the basket. "I see that it's hard for you to carry the basket. Let me carry your shoes for you," Ning Shu said. Kai Anchi was speechless. Chapter 704. Ning Shu carried a bunch of spring onions in one hand and Kai Anchi's high heels in the other. Kai Anchi carried the things and followed behind him barefoot. She felt that her feet had turned into teppanyaki. Ning Shu smiled and greeted people he knew on the floor. When these people saw Kai Anchi's face and her bare feet, they felt that her image was not good. Auntie Li, who often played mahjong with Yang Zi, asked Ning Shu, "What's wrong with your daughter-in-law?" Kai Anchi's face was dark. Her beautiful curly hair was a little messy. Together with the white powder on her face and the black eyeliner, it was all messy. She really did not look good. Ning Shu smiled and said, "Young people all like to look good. But the weather is hot, so it's like this." Auntie Li saw the high heels in Ning Shu's hand and said unhappily, "Only you would carry your daughter-in-law's shoes. How much do you spoil her?" Ning Shu did not care and said, It's okay. My daughter-in-law is my daughter. She was worried that I would be tired, so she helped me carry my things. Auntie Lee squinted her eyes and said, "Which mother-in-law is like you?" Auntie Lee said to Kai-Anchi, "You are quite lucky to have such an open-minded mother-in-law. I have been with her for more than 20 years. She is a kind person. Be filial to your mother-in-law in the future." Kai-Anchi was so angry that her chest was heaving up and down. Who the fuck was this? Why did she come up and teach her a lesson? As for whether her mother-in-law was a good mother-in-law, Kai-Anchi wanted to spit on the other party's face. Her mother-in-law was definitely not a good mother-in-law. Who was the one who purposely tormented her daughter-in-law? Auntie Lee patted Ningshu's shoulder and said, "Let's get together later." Ningshu nodded. In this building, a few women of similar age often went out together, such as drinking tea or participating in some dance activities. But after Wang Bo and Yang Zi got married, Yang Zi had to take care of the family. Her daughter-in-law did not do anything at home. She often went out to play with her friends. Who knew who she was playing with? The family relied on Yang Zi to do the laundry and cook. The three of them also changed a lot of clothes every day. Kai-Anchi's underwear was all washed by Yang Zi. She even said that her clothes were very expensive and had to be hand-washed so that they wouldn't change shape, blah blah blah. When he met acquaintances, Ningshu would chat with them. Most of the topics revolved around Kai-Anchi. They all asked Ningshu what happened to his daughter-in-law. Ningshu was very good-tempered. He explained the reason to others and praised his daughter-in-law for being filial and kind. However, other people were skeptical. Some didn't quite believe what Ningshu said. She was in such a mess when she went out, and her mother-in-law had tidied up. How could she be a good daughter-in-law? When Ningshu was talking to others, she could only stand aside and listen to Ningshu chatting with others. In the end, Ningshu couldn't stand it anymore and started chatting with everyone he met. Once he started chatting, he would chat for a long time, completely ignoring how tired and hot she was carrying the things beside him. "I'll go up first." Kai-Anchi interrupted Ningshu's conversation with others. She carried the things and went upstairs barefooted. Ningshu smiled and said a few words to others. He then carried his shoes and chased after Kai-Anchi. When they reached home, Kai-Anchi threw the things on the ground and rushed into the house. Not long after, Kai-Anchi came out. Her body was covered in water vapor, and her face was much more refreshed. "Mother-in-law, give me the money." Kai-Anchi reached out her hand to Ningshu. Ningshu was picking vegetables. He smiled and said, "Money isn't urgent. Come and help me pick the vegetables." Kai-Anchi rolled her eyes. "I'll come over when you give me the money," Kai-Anchi said as she was about to enter the bedroom. Ningshu said kindly, "Don't go yet. Come over here. I have something to discuss with you." Kai-Anchi thought for a moment and sat opposite Ningshu. She asked, "What's the matter?" Kai-Anchi said as she took out her phone and chatted with someone on WeChat. He didn't know what they were talking about, but it seemed like her heart was rippling. Ningshu said, "Come and cook with me later." Kai-Anchi raised her head. "Didn't you say you're going to order food?" Ningshu smiled and said, "Here's what I'm thinking. You can cook lunch and dinner, and I'll give you half of the money every month. You can use the money to buy cosmetics and play with your friends." "No, definitely not. No amount of cosmetics can fix the skin that is damaged by the smoke and smoke. I'm definitely not going to cook." Kai-Anchi rolled her eyes and said, "Oh," Ningshu replied faintly, "then I can only give you 1,000 yuan a month." What? Kai-Anchi stared at Ningshu with her eyes wide open. "How much did you say?" 1,000 yuan. Ningshu repeated. "If you're willing to cook, I'll definitely give you 5,000 yuan. What can I do with 1,000 yuan? It's not even enough for a month." "What do you mean?" Kai-Anchi stood up and shouted at Ningshu. "What do you want? How about you clean the house and wash the clothes? I'll give you 5,000 yuan. Ningshu said lightly. "This way, there won't be smoke and it won't harm your skin. I don't want to do these things." Kai-Anchi said coldly. Ningshu looked at Kai-Anchi and didn't say anything. Kai-Anchi turned and went into the bedroom. She put on a beautiful dress and was about to go out. Ningshu asked, Where are you going? It's almost time for lunch and Wang Bo is coming back. Kai Anchi said impatiently, I'm not coming back for lunch. Then who are you going to see? Ning Shu asked. Kai Anchi was even more impatient. I'm going to see my best friend. She left after saying that. Ning Shu put his phone in his pocket and followed her. He didn't believe that she was going to see her best friend. Kai Anchi left the neighborhood and took a taxi. Ning Shu quickly hailed a car and followed her. The car stopped in front of a hotel. This hotel was quite high-end. It was obvious that the level of consumption was quite high. Kai Anchi walked in and Ning Shu followed. Finally, at the hotel restaurant, he saw Kai Anchi and a man sitting together. The two of them ordered steaks and slowly ate. Ning Shu didn't dare to get close to them. He could only watch from afar. He couldn't hear what they were talking about. Kai Anchi had a smile on her face. She looked quite beautiful. Kai Anchi had never smiled at Wang Bo with such a smile. Kai Anchi chose to marry Wang Bo because she wanted to continue playing. Moreover, she had a way out in the future. When she couldn't play anymore, Wang Bo would be her way out. When the man reached out to touch Kai Anchi's face, Ning Shu took out his phone and took a photo. Ning Shu watched the two of them from the side. Kai Anchi and the man finished eating and stood up. The man put his arm around Kai Anchi's waist. Kai Anchi didn't resist the man's closeness. Her body stuck to the man's body, looking very intimate. Ning Shu took another photo and watched the two of them enter the elevator. Ning Shu didn't need to think to know what the two of them were doing. Ning Shu wanted to catch them in the act, but he had to consider his son. Chapter 705. Ning Shu didn't want Wang Bo to be mocked by others. She didn't want him to be mocked for being a cuckold, especially in such an occasion. Especially now that Wang Bo liked Kai Anchi very much, it would be a big blow. When dealing with Kai Anchi, he had to make sure that he wouldn't be dragged down. After Wang Bo divorced Kai Anchi, he had to let Wang Bo get married. He couldn't feel that the world was gloomy because of this failed marriage. Ning Shu left the hotel and took a taxi home. When he got home, Wang Bo was already home. Ning Shu asked, "When did you come back?" Wang Bo brushed his hair. "I just came back. Where's Anchi?" Ning Shu smiled and said, "She went to play with her friends. I just chatted with your Auntie Lee. I'll make you a bowl of noodles." Wang Bo nodded and sat on the sofa. He took out his phone to call Kai Anchi, but her phone was turned off several times. Wang Bo frowned and asked Ning Shu in the kitchen, "Did Anchi tell you where she went? I couldn't get through to her phone." Ning Shu said, "Her phone must have run out of battery. The noodles are ready. Let's eat." Ning Shu brought out a bowl of noodles. Wang Bo was in a bad mood and was very disappointed. He quickly finished the bowl of noodles and left. Ning Shu stopped Wang Bo and patted him on the shoulder. He smiled and said, "Don't work too hard. When Anchi comes back, I'll ask her to call you." Ning Shu released a stream of chi strength into Wang Bo's body. This stream of chi strength was only as thick as a strand of hair. There wasn't much spiritual chi in the modern world, so it was impossible to cultivate chi strength. It was only possible with the help of a peerless martial artist. Ning Shu smiled. "I know. Thank you." Ning Shu nodded. "Go to work." As soon as Wang Bo left, the smile on Ning Shu's face disappeared. She scooped up the remaining noodles in the pot and ate them. After eating, Ning Shu returned to his room to cultivate. Kai Anchi only returned home in the afternoon. Ning Shu heard the sound of high heels clicking against the floor. When he opened the door, he saw Kai Anchi glowing and carrying an exquisite shopping bag. There were so many bags and they were all branded. How much did they cost? Ning Shu looked at the beautiful Kai Anchi and asked, "Why did you buy so many things?" "It must have cost a lot. I bought it with my close friends. It's not worth much, it's all cheap stuff." Kai Anchi brushed her hair and said indifferently, "Ning Shu, he really treated her like an old lady who didn't know anything." Ning Shu faintly said, "Wang Bo couldn't get through to you. Why did you turn off your phone?" Kai Anchi rolled her eyes and took out her phone. I must have forgotten that my phone ran out of battery when I was shopping." Ning Shu just raised his eyebrows and said, "Call Wang Bo back. He's waiting for your call." "Okay." Kai Anchi carried the bags into the bedroom and closed the door with her foot. Ning Shu couldn't help but roll his eyes. In the evening, Wang Bo came back from work. When he saw Kai Anchi, he asked, "Why didn't you call me back?" "Didn't you call him back?" "I told you to call him back." Ning Shu frowned and asked Kai Anchi. Kai Anchi looked at the mother and son and questioned her. Kai Anchi impatiently said, "I forgot. It's just a phone call. I'll call you now." Wang Bo's face suddenly turned green. He couldn't help but say, "Anchi, how can you do this?" Kai Anchi was very annoyed. "We're married. We don't have to be lovey-dovey like a couple over a phone call." Wang Bo suddenly said, "It's not about a phone call." Wang Bo didn't know what to say. He clearly felt that his wife didn't care about him. Even if they were married and slept in the same bed, their hearts didn't lean on each other. They didn't feel like husband and wife. Wang Bo didn't know how to express his inner feelings. Instead, he was stunned by Kai Anchi's question. He was very angry, but he didn't know what to say. Looking at Kai Anchi's beautiful face, Wang Bo grabbed his hair in annoyance. Ning Shu watched from the side and really felt that Wang Bo was miserable. When you liked someone, you would be humble to the dust and then a flower would bloom in the dust. Because Wang Bo liked Kai Anchi was unscrupulous in front of Wang Bo. Kai Anchi relied on this fondness. Ning Shu tried to persuade Wang Bo, saying, "Anchi bought a lot of things today. She was probably tired from shopping. She came back and went to rest. Don't be angry." "Shopping?" Wang Bo looked at Kai Anchi. "What did you buy?" Kai Anchi rolled her eyes and thought of the shoes and clothes in her pocket. She quickly said, "Just a few cheap clothes." Kai Anchi quickly went into the bedroom, stuffed the clothes in the bag into the wardrobe, and hid the bag. The old woman at home didn't know the brand, but it didn't mean that Wang Bo didn't know. Even if Wang Bo didn't know, he could search online. Which young people didn't know how to surf the internet? Wang Bo saw Kai Anchi hurrying back to the bedroom and followed her. Seeing Kai Anchi hiding things in the wardrobe, he asked, "What are you doing?" "No, nothing." Kai Anchi closed the wardrobe door. Wang Bo frowned, opened the wardrobe door, and took out the bag that Kai Anchi hid. "There's nothing. Why are you hiding it?" Wang Bo said. Kai Anchi said with a smile, "There's nothing." Kai Anchi walked over and held Wang Bo's arm, saying, "I didn't call you today. It's my fault. I promised to call you in the future." Wang Bo didn't understand why Kai Anchi suddenly changed her attitude. He was angry before, but when he saw Kai Anchi acting coquettishly, he didn't care about what happened just now. Wang Bo cared about Kai Anchi. He liked Kai Anchi and didn't want Kai Anchi to suffer. Ning Shu saw that Wang Bo and Kai Anchi made up again, so he didn't say anything. But when it was time for dinner, there was nothing on the table. The three of them stared at each other. "Mom, there's no food?" Wang Bo asked Ning Shu. Ning Shu said, "Anchi, order the food." Kai Anchi curled her lips and took out the phone to order the food. The food they ordered arrived. Wang Bo touched his pocket and wanted to pay, but he was stopped by Ning Shu. Ning Shu said to Kai Anchi, "Pay." "Why should I pay? You didn't give me a penny. You want me, a woman, to support you and your son? Why should I get married?" Kai Anchi suddenly exploded and looked very angry. Seeing Kai Anchi like this, Wang Bo subconsciously gave in and wanted to pay. Moreover, the person who delivered the food was now waiting and staring at them. Wang Bo felt very embarrassed, especially when he saw Kai Anchi's overbearing attitude, which made Wang Bo even more displeased. He felt that Kai Anchi didn't respect him at all. Chapter 706. Kai Anchi ordered the meal and didn't want to pay at all. She felt that it wasn't worth it. Why should she pay? "Are you guys going to pay or not?" The delivery man asked when he saw that none of the three people were paying. Kai Anchi sat on the sofa and rolled her eyes. Wang Bo felt extremely embarrassed and took out his wallet to pay. This time, Ning Shu didn't stop Wang Bo. Ning Shu placed the dishes on the table and said, "Let's eat." Wang Bo silently pulled out a chair and sat down. Kai Anchi also sat down and ate. A few minutes ago, the atmosphere was good, but now it became bad again. Ning Shu looked at Wang Bo. Wang Bo was silent. He was unhappy. Kai Anchi didn't care at all. Even if Wang Bo was angered to death, she wouldn't care. Ning Shu put down his chopsticks and said to Kai Anchi, "Anchi, since you married into our family, you are a family. You are Wang Bo's wife and a member of this family. You have to work hard for the health and peace of this family and do your duty for this family." Kai Anchi didn't care and said, "Oh, do my duty. I am Wang Bo's wife. Wang Bo has the obligation to support me. Why won't he give me money?" Ning Shu said lightly, "I will definitely give you money. I said that if you clean the house every day, I will give you half of Wang Bo's salary every month." "Why should I do such a thing?" Kai Anchi raised her voice. "I'm not a cleaner. I won't do it. If you don't give me money, then forget it. I don't want it." Kai Anchi threw her chopsticks and turned to enter the bedroom. She didn't care about Ning Shu and his mother's feelings at all. She was reckless and unscrupulous. She never restrained her temper. Wang Bo's face was very ugly. Seeing Ning Shu smile, he frowned and said, "Mom, I want to." Wang Bo didn't say the word divorce in the end. Ning Shu ate and said to Wang Bo, "A husband and wife should be tolerant and considerate of each other." Wang Bo's face was even darker. He had always been tolerant of Kai Anchi, but Kai Anchi never cared about him. She didn't care about his feelings. Ning Shu said, "I only know that you like Angie, but do you know that Angie likes you?" I should like it," Wang Bo stammered. Ning Shu smiled. "I'm not sure about that." Wang Bo sighed. He was no longer in the mood to eat. He took a mat and laid it on the floor. He slept in the living room, not intending to return to the bedroom. Ning Shu threw away the rest of the food on the table. Not a single grain of rice was left. Kai Anchi didn't eat much in the evening. She threw her chopsticks and bowls at the slightest provocation and left. If she didn't want to eat, she would just leave. Ning Shu watched Wang Bo tossing and turning on the mat. He would either sit up or wander around the living room. Wang Bo must be struggling in his heart right now. Kai Anchi didn't mind that Wang Bo didn't return to his room. Anyway, he was sleeping alone and the bed was very spacious. It was better if he didn't squeeze with others. But when Kai Anchi slept in the middle of the night, she was hungry and angry. Every time, that old woman would choose to talk about things during mealtimes. Every time, she would be so angry that she couldn't eat. The old woman was up to no good. Kai Anchi got up and saw Wang Bo lying in the living room. She walked over and kicked Wang Bo. She said angrily, "I'm hungry. Get me something to eat." Wang Bo had been working all day. He had just fallen asleep when he was suddenly awakened by Kai Anchi's kick. His whole person was not very good. "I'm hungry," Kai Anchi said. Wang Bo was really upset. He couldn't help but say, "You don't eat during mealtimes. You want to eat in the middle of the night. Can you not torture people?" This was the first time Kai Anchi was treated like this by Wang Bo. She suddenly became angry. "I just asked you to get me something to eat. You're simply a scumbag, a scumbag." Wang Bo fell down and said, "I'm tired. I have to go to work tomorrow. If you want to eat, go get it yourself." Kai Anchi was so angry that she kicked Wang Bo. Wang Bo endured the pain and didn't move. "You're simply a waste." Kai Anchi couldn't help but scold. "Look at what you have. You're ugly, can't speak, don't even have a friend, don't even have a hobby. You work all day to earn a dead salary." Wang Bo's body stiffened. He turned around and said, "I'm so unbearable. Why did you marry me? I was blind to think that you were a man who knew how to care for others. Now I see that you're a weak and incompetent man who only knows how to listen to his mother." Kai Anchi said angrily. Wang Bo clenched his fists tightly. His nose trembled. He couldn't say a word for a long time. Kai Anchi saw Wang Bo's red eyes. Her heart trembled. She snorted and turned back to the bedroom. Wang Bo sat on the ground, motionless. The next morning, Ning Shu woke up and saw Wang Bo sitting there. He didn't know what he was thinking about. His whole body was filled with gloom. Ning Shu walked over and saw Wang Bo's gloomy face. His body seemed to be covered with a layer of dust. He comforted him and said, "Wang Bo, don't think too much." Wang Bo looked at Ning Shu and said, "Mom, I want a divorce." Ning Shu smiled and patted Wang Bo's shoulder. This matter is not urgent. You haven't made up your mind yet. You have to think carefully. Wang Bo held his head with a painful expression. Speaking of which, the current situation was all because of Ning Shu. Ning Shu didn't spoil Kai Anchi like Yang Zi. Yang Zi did everything at home. Kai Anchi didn't have to do anything. Ning Shu made Kai Anchi unhappy. The conflict between Wang Bo and Kai Anchi broke out in advance. It was just a trivial matter at home. However, with Yang Zi and Wang Bo's honesty, they couldn't handle it well. They were cheated of their feelings and Kai Anchi took away a large sum of money. Yang Zi gave her soul to counterattack. Family matters were the most difficult to deal with. The ones who hurt people the most were usually the ones closest to them. However, Kai Anchi didn't have any regret or shame. She took the money and left. Because of this, Wang Bo became even more taciturn. Ning Shu made breakfast and said to Wang Bo, "Eat. Eat until you're full. Things aren't as painful as you think. There's no need to be sad over something that isn't worth being sad over. Others won't care about the pain of your wishful thinking," Ning Shu said. Wang Bo said helplessly, "Mom, you're rubbing salt on my wound. What do you mean by the pain of my wishful thinking?" Ning Shu shrugged. "It should be like this. There's nothing wrong with laughing at yourself occasionally and being humorous. I divorced your father and lived alone with you, but I still survived. No one can't live without anyone." Wang Bo ate breakfast with a heavy heart. Kai Anchi came out of the bedroom and saw the breakfast on the table. She said to Wang Bo, "Why didn't you call me for breakfast? Don't you know that I'm hungry?" Wang Bo didn't say anything. Kai Anchi saw that he couldn't make a fart. She was very frustrated and annoyed. Chapter 707. Back then, Kai Anchi had taken a liking to Wang Bo's honesty. Now, honesty had become Kai Anchi's most hated trait. To put it bluntly, Kai Anchi was greedy. She wanted a man to be reliable and romantic. She wanted a man to hold her in his heart. Her princess syndrome was incurable. She thought she was the most honorable. Kai Anchi had been hungry all night. Seeing that Wang Bo was ignoring her, she bit her bun angrily. After Wang Bo finished his breakfast, he changed his clothes and left. He didn't say a word to Kai Anchi. Kai Anchi was getting angrier. Who was he to be so rude to her? Let's see who could outlast who. Ning Shu said to Kai Anchi, "Today, I have an event with your Aunt Li. Come with me. Speaking of which, you haven't gotten to know the neighbors yet." "Why should I? We're living our own lives behind closed doors. Why should I get to know some irrelevant people? I'm not going. I'm not going to participate in your elderly activities. I have my own circle of friends." Kai Anchi refused without thinking. Ning Shu's expression didn't change. He said, "This community event is quite big. Every family has people participating. There are young people who are around your age. Go and get to know these people." Ning Shu said without hesitation. "Think about Wang Bo. You're just going to go through the motions. Change your clothes and come with me." Ning Shu looked at Kai Anchi coldly. Kai Anchi curled her lips. She went back to her room and changed into beautiful clothes. She even put on makeup. She was very beautiful. Ning Shu didn't say anything. He took Kai Anchi to participate in the community event. Kai Anchi's beauty was very eye-catching. Many men's gazes stopped on her body. Some people even came up to her. Kai Anchi had a beautiful smile on her face. Aunt Li pulled Ning Shu to the side and glanced at Kai Anchi. Ning Shu said, "Your daughter-in-law looks like she's not content with her husband. Why is she so flamboyant?" "It's fine. Young people nowadays pay attention to these things. They have to put on makeup when they go out. This is a sign of confidence," Ning Shu said casually. "But there has to be a limit. Your daughter-in-law is not good enough," Auntie Li Ning Shu said. "Take out your mother-in-law's money to discipline your daughter-in-law. You have to discipline her." Ning Shu smiled and said, "It's a matter of the younger generation. You two just need to live a good life." "How can we do that? We still need to discipline him." Auntie Li glanced at Kai Anchi. "Look at my daughter-in-law. She likes to be beautiful, but she's not as glamorous as her. She's deliberately attracting attention. Wang family's daughter-in-law, come here. Auntie Li waved at Kai Anchi. Come here quickly. Kai Anchi was talking to a man. When she heard Auntie Li calling her, she smiled and said goodbye to the man. Ning Shu walked over. Your mother-in-law is a little thirsty. Get her a glass of juice. Get me one too. Auntie Li instructed Kai Anchi. Kai Anchi's expression immediately changed. Ning Shu said generously, no need, I'll go get it myself. Sit down. Auntie Li pulled Ning Shu and turned to Kai Anchi. Can't I even get a glass of water for your mother-in-law? Kai Anchi's face darkened. She poured 2 glasses of juice and gave them to Ning Shu and Auntie Li. Then she turned and left. Auntie Li shook her head. Your daughter-in-law is not good. She's already like this. You can still go against your conscience and say that she's filial. Yangzi, do you still have any heart? Even a clay figurine has some temper. Ning Shu pursed his lips and did not say anything. Seeing that there were some bubbles in the juice, he suspected that Kai Anchi had spat in it. He did not drink it. At this moment, Auntie Li's daughter-in-law walked over and whispered in Auntie Li's ear. Auntie Li turned to Ning Shu and said, your daughter-in-law is too vengeful. When she brought the juice, she used her fingers to stir it. She dares to treat you like this outside. What is she like at home? Ning Shu raised his eyebrows and smiled. She must have not noticed. This child is not bad. Auntie Li rolled her eyes. Yang Zi, I think you're the bully daughter-in-law. Ning Shu was still smiling and did not have any temper. Auntie Li said directly, take out your mother-in-law's money and be hard when necessary. I got it. Ning Shu said with a smile. Wang Bo likes this child. A young couple is the one who will spend the rest of their lives with each other. Auntie Li moved to Ning Shu's ear and asked, I heard that the delivery man of Ji Xiang restaurant runs to your house every day. Do you order food every day? That child likes to be beautiful and doesn't cook. My health is not good. I guess it's because I worked too hard when I was young. Now my body can't take it. Auntie Li smacked her lips. How much does it cost a month? Can Wang Bo afford it with his salary? Ning Shu's face showed a worried expression. He smiled and did not speak. Auntie Li said with some sympathy, Wang Bo is an honest child. With such a daughter-in-law, won't he be eaten tightly? Auntie Li pulled Ning Shu and told Ning Shu a lot of ways to punish a daughter-in-law. Ning Shu just listened and did not express his opinion. After the event ended, Ning Shu took Kai Anchi home. Clean the house. Ning Shu said to Kai Anchi. Kai Anchi looked at Ning Shu in disbelief. What did you say? Ning Shu faintly said, clean up this room. Clean up every nook and cranny. Kai Anchi tilted her head and looked at Ning Shu condescendingly. My mother didn't ask me to do these things. Why do you ask me to do these things? Ning Shu approached Kai Anchi and slightly raised his head to look at Kai Anchi. I'm your mother-in-law and your elder. You should respect me and not talk to me like this. Kai Anchi snorted and crossed her arms. Her contempt was obvious. Ning Shu took out his phone and showed a photo to Kai Anchi. Take a look. Kai Anchi casually glanced at the phone. When she saw the photo, she was stunned. Her face showed a moment of panic before she angrily asked, You followed me. Kai Anchi said as she stretched out her hand to snatch Ning Shu's phone. Ning Shu easily dodged it. On the other hand, Kai Anchi was in a sorry state. What's the meaning of this? Kai Anchi coldly looked at Ning Shu. Ning Shu's expression was incomparably cold as he lightly said, I know what you've done outside, but I didn't tell Wang Bo. I thought that you would restrain yourself. I never expected that you would be so unrestrained. Kai Anchi immediately said without fear, So what? If you have the ability, then let me divorce Wang Bo. I won't let you divorce. Ning Shu said with a smile. I've kept all your branded clothes. What right do you have to touch my things? What right do you have? Kai Anchi rushed into the bedroom and opened the wardrobe. Her branded clothes were really gone. This old woman. Chapter 708. Kai Anchi was caught going in and out of a hotel with a man, but Kai Anchi didn't care. She was fearless. She didn't love Wang Bo. Whether she divorced or not depended on her mood. But Ning Shu took away her branded clothes and shoes, which made Kai Anchi quite unbearable. These things were all hers. Kai Anchi cherished these things. Even people couldn't compare to Kai Anchi. Kai Anchi saw that her branded clothes were all taken away by the old woman. Her heart ached and she trembled. That old woman didn't know that branded things were very delicate. She had to be careful. Kai Anchi slammed the wardrobe door and rushed out of the bedroom. Ning Shu shouted, "Give me back my things. You're a pervert. What right do you have to steal my things?" Ning Shu smiled and said, "I'm just keeping it for you. I didn't steal it. Taking without asking is stealing. I want to call the police. You stole my things." Kai Anchi took out her phone, hatefully stared at Ning Shu, and began to dial the number. Ning Shu said with an indifferent face, "I don't care. But before you call the police, you must think about what to say." "What do you mean?" Kai Anchi saw Ning Shu's indifferent look. She felt a little frustrated. She thought that she could scare this old woman. Ning Shu said, "These things of yours are easily worth tens of thousands. You don't have a job. Your family doesn't have the financial conditions to buy these things. Wang Bo's salary can't afford to buy these things. So where do you have the money to buy these things? These things can also be stolen by you." Ning Shu spread out his hands and said, "You fart. You're the one who stole things." Kai Anchi spat at Ning Shu. Ning Shu just looked at her indifferently. From Kai Anchi's body, Ning Shu really felt the harshness of a woman to another woman. And when Kai Anchi faced a man, she was always like a little bird. Her smile was like a flower. She was incomparably beautiful. Except for Ning Shu, who was unlucky. In this world, men were not the only ones who had ill intentions towards women. Women were also the same. Ning Shu said expressionlessly, "Since you didn't steal it, where did you get the money from? Maybe you got it from prostitution. That's a criminal detention. You're the one who's prostituting." "I've never done that," Kai Anchi said quickly, but she didn't make a call. "If there's money involved, then it's selling. Don't make it sound like it's consensual." "Oh, it's not consensual. It's adultery," Ning Shu said, curling his lips. Kai Anchi was so angry that her face turned green. "What do I have to do for you to return it to me?" Kai Anchi rolled her eyes, turned around, and quickly walked into Ning Shu's room. She rummaged through Ning Shu's room and rummaged through Ning Shu's wardrobe, not even letting go of a corner. Ning Shu leaned against the doorframe and looked at Kai Anchi. "Have you found it?" Kai Anchi's eyes were red as she looked at Ning Shu. Her eyes were filled with tears. Clearly, she was distressed over the fact that she had lost so many branded goods. Especially when she had just bought so many things a few days ago. The things inside were all things that she had cherished for a long time. Was it easy for her to buy these things? "Where did you take my things? Hurry up and give them back to me." Kai Anchi's voice had a thick nasal sound as she wiped away her tears. Ning Shu said indifferently, "Only I know where these things are. Don't worry, I'll investigate how these things are kept." "Damn old woman." Kai Anchi looked down on her old-fashioned mother-in-law from the bottom of her heart. She thought that she didn't understand the world of young people at all. Most of the time, she didn't even guard against her. She didn't think that she would fall into the hands of this old woman. Kai Anchi was so angry that she wanted to die. Most importantly, she was distressed over her clothes, shoes, and bags. These were all her treasures. Ning Shu said again, "Don't let Wang Bo come and ask me for these things. When the time comes, I'll show the photos to Wang Bo. Go die, go die." Kai Anchi cursed Ning Shu in her heart. She said helplessly, "Mother-in-law, how can you return these things to me?" Ning Shu said, "There's no point in pursuing the past. Now that you and Wang Bo are married, you should be loyal to each other and protect this marriage. Do housework for a month and I'll return these things to you." Ning Shu said indifferently. Kai Anchi didn't even think about it and said, "Impossible. Then I'll directly destroy your branded goods." Ning Shu said indifferently, "You dare?" Kai Anchi almost jumped up. Her expression was incomparably conflicted. Ning Shu pointed at his room that Kai Anchi had turned into a mess. The first thing is to tidy up the things in the room. Kai Anchi's expression was incomparably interesting. She stood there without moving. Kai Anchi said, "I'm going to tell my parents that you bullied me." Ning Shu was expressionless. "Call the in-laws over for a face-to-face confrontation. I don't know what your parents' expressions will be when they see these photos. If they don't care, I can turn a blind eye and post your phone number in the corridor. In any case, it's considered work. I won't let you do housework." Kai Anchi was about to die from anger. She randomly stuffed the clothes on the floor into the wardrobe. Ning Shu said expressionlessly, "Hang it up and fold it neatly." Kai Anchi shook her clothes. Looking at these dull clothes, her eyes were full of disdain. She thought it was old-fashioned. Ning Shu looked at Kai Anchi from the side. Kai Anchi wasn't someone who did this kind of thing. The more she did it, the more irritated she became. She really wanted to throw these things on the floor and then stomp on them. Kai Anchi unwillingly tidied up Ning Shu's room. Ning Shu said, "You should give these things to me now." Ning Shu shook his head. "I said do housework for a month. After a month, I'll return them to you." Kai Anchi really wanted to strangle this old woman to death. She dared to touch her baby. When Kai Anchi left the room, she deliberately bumped into Ning Shu with her shoulder heavily. She wanted to make this old woman suffer. It would be best if she was knocked to the ground and paralyzed. Ning Shu's expression didn't change. He didn't think of dodging. When Kai Anchi bumped into him, his body didn't move at all. Instead, Kai Anchi felt that her shoulder and arm had hit an iron plate. It was very painful. Kai Anchi rubbed her shoulder and angrily returned to the room. She slammed the door. Ning Shu took a pen and notebook and walked over to knock on the door. Ning Shu knocked on the door rhythmically, which made people feel very irritated. Kai Anchi, who was in the room, covered her ears. She felt that the knocking on the door was like knocking on her heart, which was very annoying. "What are you doing now?" Kai Anchi roared at Ning Shu. "The house hasn't been dusted for a few days. Today is a big cleaning." Ning Shu smiled very kindly. Kai Anchi didn't even bother to say anything. She slammed the door with a bang. Big cleaning? She was determined not to do such a thing. Chapter 709. Although her things were taken away by the old woman, Kai Anchi was sure that Ning Shu wouldn't dare to do anything to her. Ning Shu stood at the door and knocked again. Since Kai Anchi didn't open the door, Ning Shu planned to keep knocking. "Open the door, or I'll open it with the key," Ning Shu said at the door. Kai Anchi covered her ears and covered her head with a pillow. There was no way she would do such a thing. Ning Shu saw that Kai Anchi didn't open the door. "Since you don't want to come out, I can only destroy one of your things first. Is it a shoe, a bag, or a skirt?" "Old woman, what do you want?" Kai Anchi opened the door and saw Ning Shu writing something in a notebook. She asked, "What are you doing?" "You have to clean the house, do housework, and cook every day. If you don't do it, I'll cut off one of your name tags. I don't know if your things can make up for 30 days. Ning Shu said kindly, "You don't have to do it today, but I'll record it." Kai Anchi looked at Ning Shu incredulously. "Why are you so vicious?" "Ning Shu, those things were bought with money," Kai Anchi said angrily. Ning Shu didn't care. "They weren't bought with my money." Kai Anchi was so angry that she almost couldn't control the primitive force in her body. She wanted to die with this evil mother-in-law. Kai Anchi could only take a feather duster and sweep it. At first glance, it was obvious that she didn't do anything. Ning Shu said, "Wear gloves and use a bucket to get water. Wipe the room. Wipe the glass and scrub the toilet. I'll check it later. If it's not up to standard, you have to do it again." Kai Anchi took a deep breath and thought about her treasures. Without these things, how could she go out? Kai Anchi felt that if she didn't have a name tag on her, she couldn't go out. Since she had a branded dress, she had to have shoes that matched the dress. Her clothes and shoes were all branded. She couldn't be carrying a bag from a street stall, right? Therefore, every time Kai Anchi went out, she would be dressed in branded clothes. Her pursuit of this kind of thing had reached a morbid level. Now that Ning Shu had taken away her things, Kai Anchi wanted to go all out. Kai Anchi put on her gloves and began to clean. Seeing Ning Shu watching her, she vented her dissatisfaction. The floor was full of water, and the glass was smudged. Ning Shu just said, "Clean up the water later." Kai Anchi was not a princess favored by the heavens and favored by the earth. The conditions of her family were not very good. It was impossible for her to not have done any housework. It was just that she did not want to do it. Kai Anchi rolled her eyes and began to mop the floor indignantly. Ning Shu was so tired that his back ached. He had just cleaned the floor glass when he said, "Scrub the toilet." Kai Anchi was speechless. Kai Anchi could only go to the bathroom to clean. She felt terrible. After she was done, she immediately took a shower. She still felt that her body smelled. Kai Anchi was so tired that she collapsed on the sofa. Ning Shu said, "You can cook now." Kai Anchi jumped up from the sofa. "I've done so much. Can't I take a break? I just scrubbed the toilet, and you want me to cook? If you can eat, I will cook." Ning Shu nodded without hesitation. "I can eat." Kai Anchi was speechless. "Even if you can eat, I don't want to cook." Kai Anchi was on the verge of breaking down. She grabbed her hair and said, "Order food." Ning Shu shrugged indifferently. "Whatever." Kai Anchi felt that the blood in her chest was surging. It was as if she had punched cotton. Kai Anchi was so angry that she picked the most expensive dishes and ordered a lot of them. Ning Shu did not say anything. When Wang Bo came back from work that night, he saw Kai Anchi in a daze and asked, "What's wrong?" Kai Anchi said angrily, "I cleaned the entire house by myself today. What do you think is wrong with me?" Wang Bo was a little surprised. Kai Anchi had never done housework before. Why did she suddenly do it? Wang Bo felt warm in his heart. He said, "Thank you for your hard work. Let me give you a massage." "No need." "I'm annoyed," Kai Anchi said angrily. Wang Bo did not care about Kai Anchi's attitude. At least now Kai Anchi was willing to treat this house as her home. The delivery man came. Now, the delivery man and Ning Shu's family of 3 were all mature people. They even chatted while waiting to collect the money. But when it was time to pay, Kai Anchi sat on the sofa and did not say a word. Ning Shu said to Kai Anchi, "Pay up." "But I did so much work today and you want me to pay?" Kai Anchi rolled her eyes. "Every time you want to take money from your wife's pocket. Can you be a little shameless?" Wang Bo was afraid that Kai Anchi would say something unpleasant again. He quickly took out his wallet and asked the delivery man how much money it was. Because Kai Anchi was exhausted today, Kai Anchi deliberately ordered expensive food. The delivery man said that it was more than 1,000 yuan, which gave Wang Bo a fright. Looking at the exquisite dishes on the table, Wang Bo's face was a little ugly. He helplessly paid the money with some heartache. Wang Bo's good mood was ruined again. He tightly pursed his lips and frowned. An honest person would keep everything in his heart when he was angry. But even if he said it out loud, he would not be able to win against others. It was better to keep it in his heart. "Let's eat," Ning Shu said generously. Because she had been busy for so long, Kai Anchi was already hungry. She ate one more bowl of rice than usual. Ning Shu said with a smile, "It's good to eat more. If your body is healthy, you will give birth to a healthy child." Wang Bo did not say anything. Kai Anchi saw that Ning Shu was like a kind and gentle old lady. Her mouth was stuck in her throat, unable to move up or down. She was so good at pretending, so good at acting. She pretended to be a kind old lady in front of her son. She would not forget what she did to her today. Ning Shu looked at Kai Anchi's pale face and said with a smile, "Tomorrow I will take you to have a physical examination." Kai Anchi's heart tightened and asked, "What physical examination for no reason?" Ning Shu said, "Of course it's to have a physical examination to see if your body is suitable for pregnancy. You and Wang Bo will definitely have a child. I just want to see my grandson before I leave. I asked Anchi to learn to do housework. I also feel that my body is not very comfortable. I don't know what's wrong with me and I don't know how long I can live. I just want to leave. The 2 of you can support each other and live a good life." Ning Shu said. Wang Bo looked at Ning Shu and said, "Mom, you are still young. Generally, People will live until they are in their 70s. You still have a long time. Don't say such discouraging words. Life is very unpredictable. Who knows what will happen in the next moment or tomorrow? Ning Shu said indifferently. He looked at Kai Anchi and said, "Come with me to the hospital tomorrow to have a physical examination." Chapter 710. Kai Anchi didn't want to go to the hospital. She said, "Pregnancy depends on fate. It's not easy to give birth. Do you think you can give birth just by going to the hospital?" Ning Shu smiled and said, "Of course I know that. It's just a checkup. Listen to me." Ning Shu knew why Kai Anchi did not want to go to the hospital. She had scraped the uterus several times and could not implant the fertilized egg. How could she have a baby? She was afraid of being exposed at the hospital. Ning Shu did not take Kai Anchi's rejection to heart. Kai Anchi was furious. She looked at Wang Bo, who did not say a word. His face was stuffed in the bowl. She asked Wang Bo, "Don't you have anything to say?" Wang Bo was confused. He asked carefully, "Say what?" Kai Anchi took a deep breath and said, "About the checkup." Wang Bo said, "The checkup is good. It's not a big deal." Kai Anchi almost broke her chopsticks. She knew that men were unreliable. Kai Anchi went to rest after eating. She had not done this for a long time. She felt sore all over. Ning Shu wrapped the leftovers in plastic wrap. This was bought by his son. Today Kai Anchi did not smash the bowl and leave. They could continue eating tomorrow. Wang Bo did not plan to sleep on the floor. He went back to the bedroom to rest. He had not rested well for a few days. Kai Anchi saw Wang Bo enter the room and said coldly, "Why did you come in? Go sleep in the living room." Wang Bo did not know what to say. After a while, he said, "It's not comfortable to sleep on the floor." Kai Anchi rolled her eyes and said, "Then do you know how your mother treats me?" Wang Bo asked, "How does she treat you?" She asked me to clean the whole house and wash the toilet." Kai Anchi said angrily. Wang Bo could only say, "Mother has good intentions. She wants us to live a better life." Good intentions? Kai Anchi only felt a strong sense of malice. Kai Anchi's face was dark. She pushed Wang Bo out of the bedroom and said, "Go sleep in the living room." Wang Bo rubbed the bridge of his nose. He was very annoyed and angry. He knocked on the door. "Stop knocking. Even if you break the door, I won't let you in." Kai Anchi opened the door and roared at Wang Bo. Then she slammed the door shut, almost hitting Wang Bo's nose. Wang Bo turned around and saw that Ning Shu was looking at him. Wang Bo's face revealed an indescribably complicated expression that looked like he was crying but not crying at the same time. Ning Shu comforted Wang Bo, "Tomorrow, I'll buy you a tatami so you don't have to sleep on the floor." Wang Bo opened his mouth and called out weakly, "Mom?" Wang Bo took a mat and spread it on the ground. He looked at Ning Shu blankly and asked, "Angie wasn't like this before. Why is she like this now?" "Oh, she doesn't like you," Ning Shu said. Wang Bo shouted, Ning Shu said, "I'm serious." If a woman really loves a man, she will definitely worry about the family and create a harmonious and warm family atmosphere. The most intuitive manifestation is that she likes to buy daily necessities or decorations to decorate the home. Your wife likes to buy clothes and shoes. She hasn't bought you a pair of socks yet. Wang Bo covered his heart and shouted, Ning Shu said, "Rest well. You still have to go to work tomorrow." Wang Bo fell down, his eyes staring straight at the ceiling. The next day, after Wang Bo went to work, Kai Anchi was still in the bedroom. Ning Shu went to knock on the door. Kai Anchi opened the door with disheveled hair. Ning Shu said, "Pack up and go to the hospital." Kai Anchi immediately fell back on the bed and said weakly, "Grandma, I don't feel well. I won't go to the hospital today." Ning Shu immediately asked with concern, "What's wrong?" "I don't have any strength. I think I have a fever. It's so hot. I won't go." Kai Anchi's voice was very weak. "Is it serious to go to the hospital because you're sick?" Ning Shu took out his phone. "Do you want to call 120? Kai Anchi sat up. "It's nothing serious. I just don't feel well." If you don't feel well, go to the hospital and have a checkup. Ning Shu pulled Kai Anchi up from the bed. Go and pack up. Kai Anchi slowly packed up. It took her 2 hours to finish. Ning Shu was not in a hurry and just waited. Kai Anchi hesitated and said, "Let's go after breakfast." "What breakfast?" "We have to go to the hospital for a blood test." "Let's eat after the checkup." Ning Shu said, "It's not early. It's very hot at noon." Ning Shu took Kai Anchi out of the door and stood at the bus stop waiting for the bus. Kai Anchi was sweating from the sun. Ning Shu said, "Take a taxi. We don't know how long we'll have to wait." Ning Shu stretched his neck and looked around. "It's okay. Wait a little longer. The bus will definitely come soon." Kai Anchi kept wiping the sweat on her face with a tissue. Her expression was very irritated. After waiting for a while, Kai Anchi couldn't stand it anymore. She reached out and hailed a taxi. At this time, the bus arrived. Ning Shu pulled Kai Anchi and ran towards the bus. Kai Anchi had already opened the taxi door and was about to get into the taxi. However, she was forcefully pulled onto the bus by Ning Shu. There wasn't even a seat on the bus. It was crowded and all kinds of smells mixed together. It made Kai Anchi feel suffocated. Moreover, there was a pervert's hand. Kai Anchi was touched by someone, but she didn't know who it was. Kai Anchi couldn't control the primitive force in her body. Furthermore, she didn't eat breakfast in the morning. The anger in her heart was rising and her face was turning green. It wasn't easy to reach the hospital. They had to queue up to register again. Ning Shu went to register. Kai Anchi sat on the chair and didn't want to move. After thinking for a while, she decided to slip away. However, someone grabbed her arm. Ning Shu asked, "Where are we going?" "This is a big hospital. It wasn't easy to get a number. We're going to do a physical examination now." Kai Anchi had to do a physical examination of many things. Her heart, liver, spleen, lungs, kidneys. She had to do a detailed examination of every part of her body. Kai Anchi looked at the examination and her face turned green. "Why do I have to do so many examinations?" Ning Shu comforted her. "It's okay. Don't worry about the money. Since you're at the hospital, you should do a proper examination." But there was no need for so many examinations. After that, Ning Shu brought Kai Anchi to every department in the hospital. There was the neurology department, the ENT department, the radiology department, the blood test, blah blah, but the hospital was very big. They ran from one floor to another, from one building to another. Running back and forth like this made one's head hurt. Ning Shu dragged Kai Anchi everywhere, making Kai Anchi's face turn green. Moreover, there was a long queue for every examination. Even if they had a day, they might not be able to finish all the examinations. Chapter 7:11. Kai Anchi had dawdled for a long time in the morning and was very hungry. However, some tests did not allow her to eat breakfast. Kai Anchi felt lightheaded. When Kai Anchi said that she wanted to eat, Ning Shu unscrewed the bottle cap and said, "Drink some water. Bear with it." Kai Anchi looked at Ning Shu with hatred. This old woman was deliberately tormenting her. Ning Shu ignored Kai Anchi's gaze. She had to do these tests anyway. The most painful tests were colonoscopy and gastroscopy. Kai Anchi was called in by the doctor for a gastroscopy. The tube was inserted into her stomach and stirred in her stomach. Kai Anchi was in so much pain that she wanted to die. She could not stop drooling because of the tube in her mouth. Kai Anchi really wanted to die. When the tube was finally pulled out, Kai Anchi immediately vomited and spat out puddles of water. Kai Anchi's face was extremely pale. She held the wall and walked out of the room. Ning Shu walked over to help Kai Anchi. Kai Anchi only felt that her vision was black. Ning Shu took the list and said, "Okay, next is colonoscopy." Ning Shu helped her into the room where the colonoscopy was done. Colonoscopy was an examination of the large intestine from the rectum. The tube entered through the anus, especially when the intestine was bent. The tube had to be bent, and it was extremely painful. It was one of the most painful tests. Ning Shu could hear Kai Anchi's painful cries from outside. "I don't want to be examined." "Stop, Stop, stop. It hurts. A doctor was comforting Kai Anchi. Kai Anchi cried and shouted with a trembling voice, I don't want to be examined, I don't want to be examined. A nurse came out and said to Ning Shu, You're her family, right? Go in and help her. Ning Shu went in and saw Kai Anchi lying on the bed. Her face was pale and her lips were purple. Only her chest was rising and falling slightly. Ning Shu stayed by her side. After a while, Kai Anchi opened her eyes. Ning Shu helped Kai Anchi out of the room and sat on a chair in the corridor. Eat something. Ning Shu took out the chocolate, tore open the bag, and handed it to Kai Anchi. At this moment, Kai Anchi didn't even have the strength to be angry. Her heart was filled with fear. Ning Shu fed the food into Kai Anchi's mouth. Although Kai Anchi was very, very hungry, she had done a gastroscopy before and was very, very uncomfortable. Her stomach hurt and she kept wanting to vomit. Moreover, the water he spat out had traces of blood. Kai Anchi was in so much pain that tears came out of her eyes. Ning Shu held a bottle of water and fed her water. Kai Anchi looked at Ning Shu with resentment. Ning Shu asked, Can you get up? There's one last gynecological examination. I think you're uncomfortable, so I won't do it, Ning Shu said. Kai Anchi's face twitched slightly. Her face was pale and colorless, like a delicate flower that had been ravaged by a storm. Ning Shu helped Kai Anchi to the gynecology department. He used the ultrasound to do a detailed examination and various tests. Dr. Ning Shu asked, My wife's body is ready to give birth to a child, right? The doctor looked a little disdainful. Her uterus is very thin because of too many miscarriages. It's very difficult for her to get pregnant. That was expected. Ning Shu's face instantly became incomparably cold and indifferent as he looked at Kai Anchi. Kai Anchi's eyes flickered and avoided Ning Shu's gaze. Ning Shu took the list and helped Kai Anchi out of the room. How many children have you aborted? Ning Shu said with a cold face. Kai Anchi said weakly, That's my business. Ning Shu turned his head and saw Kai Anchi's face was as white as paint. She looked angry. Ning Shu said coldly, I don't want to pursue the past. It's boring. But you're married to Wang Bo. You have to be loyal to Wang Bo in this marriage. I won't tell Wang Bo about this. Ning Shu pursed his lips. Kai Anchi silently breathed a sigh of relief. She looked a little arrogant. Apparently, she was very satisfied with Ning Shu's tactfulness. However, this old woman would also have a taste of what she had suffered today. Ning Shu was really speechless. People loved themselves and others loved them. Wasn't it good to wait quietly for the person who would accompany you for the rest of your life? Kai Anchi looked incomparably elegant. She seemed to have charmed a lot of men. However, who would put her in their hearts? Which part of her was worthy of others' love? Who would take the other seriously when it comes to playing games? Only Yang Zi, that pure-hearted fool, would treat Kai Anchi like a treasure. Ning Shu said, Since Western medicine doesn't work, then drink Chinese medicine to regulate your body. Drink Chinese medicine? Kai Anchi's face became paler and paler. Under the sun, it seemed a little transparent. I don't want to drink Chinese medicine. I don't want to. Kai Anchi shook her head. However, she was too weak and her voice was very soft. Ning Shu's face was cold. If you don't regulate your body, what else can you do? I only have one son. Do you want him to die? No matter what, I have to try. Kai Anchi was brought to the Chinese medicine hall by Ning Shu. She told the Chinese medicine doctor about her symptoms and the doctor wrote a prescription. Ning Shu didn't hesitate to get a big bag of Chinese medicine. He also asked for a few more herbs. When Kai Anchi wasn't paying attention, he also got a set of silver needles. After that, he bought a medicine pot for decocting medicine. He hailed a taxi and planned to go back. Kai Anchi's body was very weak and her eyelids were drooping. When they arrived downstairs, Ning Shu helped Kai Anchi up the stairs. However, Kai Anchi was very weak. When she went up and down the stairs, she couldn't even lift her legs. Ning Shu directly carried Kai Anchi on his back and climbed up the stairs with the help of the handrail. Kai Anchi curled her lips. Since he wanted to carry her, then so be it. Leaning her head on his back was much more comfortable. When they met acquaintances, they all asked Ning Shu what was wrong. As a mother-in-law, she was carrying her daughter-in-law. Ning Shu wiped his sweat and said, "Today, I went to the hospital for a checkup and did a colonoscopy for her. Is she feeling uncomfortable?" Some people said directly, "No matter how uncomfortable she is, you shouldn't be the one carrying her." Although these words were directed at Kai Anchi was lying on Ning Shu's back and turned a deaf ear. She didn't move at all. Ning Shu just smiled and didn't say anything. When they passed by Auntie Li's door, Auntie Li saw Ning Shu carrying Kai Anchi on his back. She immediately pulled Kai Anchi down from Ning Shu's back. "Why do you want to carry her?" "I'll help you up," Auntie Li said angrily to Ning Shu. She helped Kai Anchi up with Ning Shu. When they got home, Kai Anchi started to vomit and have diarrhea. She was very uncomfortable. Ning Shu's face was filled with worry. "What's wrong with your daughter-in-law?" Auntie Li looked at Ning Shu. Ning Shu sighed and said, "I took her for a checkup. She said that her body is weak and it's not good for her to get pregnant. I found a Chinese medicine doctor to prescribe some medicine to regulate her body." "She can't get pregnant?" Auntie Li stared at Ning Shu. "Why do you want a daughter-in-law who can't give birth? Especially your daughter-in-law. She's not good. You still treat her like a treasure. Wang Bo likes her. Besides, it's not that she can't give birth. She might get pregnant after drinking some medicine." Ning Shu said generously. Chapter 712. Kai Anchi had done a gastroscopy and was feeling a little uncomfortable. She had a reason to lie on the bed and not move. Ning Shu did not wake her up. He took the clay pot to decoct the medicine for her. Fortunately, he did not need to use a fan to decoct the medicine. In addition to the medicine prescribed by the doctor, Ning Shu added some herbs. When the medicine was ready, he took it to Kai Anchi's room. Ning Shu knocked on the door for quite a while before Kai Anchi opened the door. Seeing Ning Shu holding the black medicine, Kai Anchi quickly pinched her nose and made a sound of surprise. "Drink it." Ning Shu handed the bowl to Kai Anchi. Kai Anchi shook her head. "I'm not drinking it. It's my freedom to have children." Ning Shu was not angry. He put the bowl on the bedside table and looked at Kai Anchi seriously. He asked, "Why are you so confident? Just because Wang Bo likes you?" Kai Anchi twirled her hair with her fingers and raised her eyebrows. "You can ask Wang Bo to divorce me. I'm willing to divorce him. I just don't know if Wang Bo is willing." Ning Shu pursed his lips and said lightly, "Everyone has their own responsibilities. There are social responsibilities and family responsibilities. A housewife is also a job. I've never thought of forcing you to do housework. You can go to work." "Why should I do that? Why should I go to work? Why should I do housework?" Kai Anchi said. Ning Shu was a little stunned. "Then what do you contribute to this family? Men do the work and women do the housework. It doesn't mean that women don't have to do anything. You should have your own career or job. Not working, not doing housework, not having children." Family members had a division of labor. If one person did everything, it was no different from an employee doing everything in the company. Sooner or later, they would leave. A family needed to be run. Whether it was doing housework or work, it was to maintain the family. If you had a job and money, it didn't matter if you hired a part-time worker. But if you didn't have anything, you still needed to be pampered. You took yourself too seriously. Since human evolution, men were responsible for the most dangerous hunting activities, while women were responsible for the trivial matters. Now that society had developed to this point, women could choose their own lives and the jobs they liked. However, no one said that women didn't have to do anything. Even if they didn't have to do anything, they still had one job, which was to reproduce and obtain the resources they needed to survive. "Oh, women have to have children. I don't want to have children," Kai Anchi said indifferently. Ning Shu was speechless. Ning Shu was speechless. "Drink the medicine." Ning Shu held the warm medicine. Kai Anchi said impatiently, "I already said that I'm not drinking." Ning Shu squinted and said, "Drink it. I didn't say that you'll have a baby if you drink it. You have a serious gynecological disease." Treat it as treating your gynecological disease. Kai Anshi's face immediately darkened. She took a deep breath and drank the medicine. It was so bitter that she retched. Ning Shu took the bowl and went out. Kai Anshi snorted and went back to sleep. Ning Shu also didn't wake Kai Anshi up to do the housework. When Wang Bo came back from work, Ning Shu said to Wang Bo, "Go and see your wife. She's not feeling well." Wang Bo quickly went to the bedroom to check. Dinner was a bowl of noodles for each of them. Kai Anshi looked at the plain noodles and asked, "Why are you eating this?" Ning Shu said without changing his expression, "You're taking medicine now. You can't eat Chinese medicine. You can't eat anything that's too oily or spicy." Ning Shu thought, "Damn it. I'll improve my cooking skills sooner or later." Kai Anshi rolled her eyes and poked the noodles in the bowl with her chopsticks. Wang Bo comforted Kai Anshi, "Just bear with it for the time being. You're not the one drinking medicine. It's easy for you to say that," Kai Anshi said unhappily. Wang Bo's expression was a bit gloomy. Kai Anshi had never been willing to talk to him properly and never cared about his feelings. Seeing Ning Shu staring at him, Wang Bo swallowed his saliva and lowered his head to eat the noodles. Truth be told, Ning Shu would feel his heart itching every time he saw Wang Bo like this. He wanted to grab Wang Bo's collar and roar at him. Would it kill him to straighten his back and say a few words? "If I don't bully someone like you, who else can I bully? You have no bottom line. You're either being bullied or doing whatever you want." Clearly, Wang Bo and Yang Zi were bullied. Didn't Kai Anshi choose this family because she felt that they were easy to bully? Ning Shu faintly said to Kai Anshi, "I don't want to interfere in the matters between the two of you, but Wang Bo is your husband. You should at least respect him, right?" Kai Anshi pursed her lips and muttered softly, "What does he have that I respect?" Ning Shu placed his chopsticks down and asked, "Then what did he do wrong to you? Is it because his salary isn't high and he doesn't know romance? He's such a person. This was your choice back then, and now you're blaming Wang Bo for it." "I was blind back then," Kai Anshi indignantly said. Wang Bo softly called out to Ning Shu. His expression was gloomy and he could only tell Ning Shu to stop the dispute. Ning Shu did not speak anymore and picked up his chopsticks to eat his noodles. Wang Bo breathed a sigh of relief and turned his head to see Kai Anshi poking at the noodles. Clearly, it wasn't to her liking and she was furious. After dinner, Ning Shu poured the medicine for Kai Anshi. Kai Anshi looked at the medicine and her face was even darker than the medicine. It smelled bad and tasted bad. Kai Anshi drank the medicine in one go. It wasn't to give birth but to treat her illness. After drinking the medicine, Kai Anshi returned to the bedroom to play with her phone and computer. Wang Bo sat on the sofa in the living room in a daze. In the past, he looked like an honest person who wasn't good with words. Now, he looked even more foolish. Ning Shu cut a plate of fruit and brought it to Wang Bo. "Try to communicate with your wife." Wang Bo said in frustration, "She doesn't listen to me at all. And I can't outtalk her." If it wasn't for the fact that he was in front of him, Ning Shu would have laughed at him. It was said that one should marry a virtuous wife. He wanted a flirtatious bitch and a virtuous bitch. Why didn't he see if he could subdue her? Why not go to heaven? It was human nature to worship the strong. Women all wanted to be conquered by strong men. If Wang Bo was a CEO, he didn't need to do anything. Money and social status would automatically add layer after layer of charm to Wang Bo. A taciturn person would become calm and composed, and a wooden person would become adorable. Ning Shu asked Wang Bo, "Are you going to live like this in the future? If I die, you may not even have a hot meal when you come home." "I'll do it myself." Wang Bo hesitated and said. Ning Shu nodded. "You're ambitious. Mom thinks highly of you." Wang Bo took a mat and laid it on the floor in the living room. "Aren't you going back to your room?" Ning Shu asked. Wang Bo had slept on the floor for a long time. Wang Bo shook his head. "I'm thinking about something." Chapter 7:13. Ning Shu looked at Wang Bo lying on the floor and rolled his eyes. Why else would he have to lie on the floor? Was it uncomfortable to sleep on the bed? Even if he wanted to think, he had to lie on a comfortable bed. She didn't even care that he was suffering, so why did he have to suffer? Ning Shu pulled Wang Bo up. Go into the house and sleep. Wang Bo shook his head. No. Why? Ning Shu looked at Wang Bo and asked, if you don't want to see Kai Anchi, then divorce her. What's the point of being so cold? No. Wang Bo was speechless. Were all women so good at talking? If I go in, we'll quarrel again. I'm not going in, Wang Bo said. Can't you just ignore her? Don't make a fuss with her. Ning Shu said angrily. Wang Bo scratched his head. If I ignore her, she'll criticize me again. Kai Anchi was going to say that he couldn't do anything to her. Ning Shu was speechless. For her, this was not love. She hated him so much that living was a mistake. Ning Shu said angrily, come out and sleep after you quarrel. Who knows, maybe you won't quarrel. Wang Bo looked at Ning Shu speechlessly. Mom, go into the house and sleep. She won't dare to say anything, Ning Shu said. Wang Bo could only go into the house. In the end, he was chased out in the middle of the night. Ning Shu opened the door and saw Wang Bo laying out the mat again. He asked, what happened? Wang Bo was dispirited and didn't say anything. What happened? Ning Shu asked again. Wang Bo was embarrassed and humiliated. He said, it's something between husband and wife. Ning Shu rolled his eyes. You can't do it? Wang Bo almost jumped up and said, she doesn't agree. She doesn't agree. Ning Shu comforted Wang Bo, maybe she's not feeling well because of the physical examination today. I didn't think of it at first. Angie said that I treated her like a prostitute and forced myself on her when she wasn't feeling well. Wang Bo sighed. I didn't think of it, but she was very angry. Ning Shu nodded and said, then sleep on the floor and rest well. Wang Bo called out to Ning Shu. Ning Shu turned to look at Wang Bo. What's the matter? I'm fine. Wang Bo shook his head. Ning Shu rolled his eyes. Was it so difficult to get a divorce? She couldn't bear to part with him. If they stayed together, she would have to flip the roof. She also didn't have the strength to abuse her feelings for him. Sight, Ning Shu returned to his room to rest. The next morning, he woke up early to prepare breakfast for Wang Bo. After Wang Bo finished his meal and went to work, he called out to Ning Shu, Mom? Ning Shu looked at Wang Bo. What's the matter? Wang Bo scratched his head in annoyance. Nothing, I'm going to work. Ning Shu boiled the medicine and brought it to Kai Anchi in the room. Kai Anchi was in a daze. When she woke up in the morning, she was thirsty and drank the entire bowl of medicine. Then she fell back onto the bed and continued to sleep. Ning Shu stretched out his hand and pressed on Kai Anchi's lower abdomen. Kai Anchi was instantly woken up by the pain. It was as if she had been pricked by a needle. It was very painful. What are you doing? You're hurting me. What did you use to prick me? Kai Anchi looked at her stomach. There was nothing unusual, but she clearly felt that her stomach was very painful just now. Ning Shu said indifferently, I just pulled the thin blanket over your stomach. Kai Anchi's expression was a little suspicious. She checked it again and found nothing unusual. Moreover, it didn't hurt at all. The pain just now seemed to be an illusion. Kai Anchi didn't pay any more attention to it. She lay down and went back to sleep. Ning Shu took the bowl out. Kai Anchi only woke up when it was close to noon. She casually ate an apple and sat on the sofa to wait for lunch. Wang Bo didn't come back for lunch. He called Ning Shu and said that he was eating outside and wouldn't come back for lunch. Ning Shu glanced at Kai Anchi, who was sitting on the sofa and watching TV. He didn't say anything and made 2 bowls of noodles. Kai Anchi looked at the watery noodles with a disgusted expression. She turned around and went back to her room. When she came out again, she was already dressed up and ready to go out. Ning Shu raised his eyebrows and asked, Are you feeling better? I'm going out to meet my best friend, Kai Anchi said. Ning Shu, best friend? Ning Shu said amiably, Wait, I'll go with you. Kai Anchi's eyes widened. You want to go with me? Ning Shu ate all the noodles in the bowl and said, Since you're feeling better, come with me to buy groceries. I have an appointment with someone. My best friend is still waiting for me, Kai Anchi said. I know you have an appointment with a man. Don't talk about your best friend, Ning Shu said indifferently. Come with me to buy groceries. Kai Anchi pursed her lips and said, It's not a man. It's a woman. Then call her. I'll tell her that you're not feeling well and you don't have to go, Ning Shu said to Kai Anchi. Kai Anchi was suddenly unhappy. It's my freedom to go wherever I want. It's none of your business. You don't have the right to interfere. Ning Shu said, I know I don't have the right to interfere, but I have to know if you have an appointment with a man. I didn't tell Wang Bo about what happened before, but it doesn't mean that I condone your behavior. Kai Anchi was so angry that she stomped her feet and went back to her room. Do you want to go grocery shopping with me? Ning Shu asked Kai Anchi. Kai Anchi said angrily, No. After a while, Kai Anchi came out again and ate the cold noodles. Then she stayed in the room and didn't come out. Ning Shu took a notebook and a pen and knocked on the door. Kai Anchi opened the door and saw the notebook and pen in Ning Shu's hand. Her face darkened. I'm not feeling well and you still want me to work. How can there be such an evil mother-in-law like you in the world? Ning Shu said without changing his expression, Didn't you just say that your body is fine? When did I say that? I didn't say that at all. Kai Anchi immediately retorted and slammed the door shut. Ning Shu stood in front of the door and shrugged his shoulders. As long as you're happy. Ning Shu went back to her room and took out her computer to go online. Then she hacked into Kai Anchi's computer next door. She had learned programming before. Although she wasn't a powerful hacker, it was still easy for her to hack into Kai Anchi's computer. Kai Anchi was chatting naked with people in the room. Her expression was quite charming. Sometimes she would do some seductive actions. Ning Shu saved all these. Ning Shu checked the people who chatted with Kai Anchi. They were all men. Her contacts were all men. What was Kai Anchi's situation? A domestic prostitute? She wasn't a sex worker. She relied on her charm to seduce a few men. Compared to a prostitute, she was more beautiful and refined. Ning Shu rolled her eyes. This strange and fickle world. Probably afraid that Ning Shu would break in like last time, Kai Anchi even moved something to block the door. This way, she would have enough time to rush into the bathroom and get dressed. Chapter 7:14. Kai Anchi was chatting enthusiastically next door, and Ning Shu was watching without blinking. Kai Anchi didn't want to live with Wang Bo as a couple, but she smiled at other men and took off all her clothes. She could turn socializing into ejaculation. Was chastity in conflict with feudalism? Hey, you're so old-fashioned. Are you living in ancient times? Hey, what's there to be pretentious about? Only after marriage can. Hey, it's shameful to be a virgin, an old virgin. Kai Anchi's behavior should be despised. Don't say that men can fool around but women can't. Men and women are equal. Women can also be free and unfettered. In this kind of thing, women are the ones who suffer. Even now, society is still harsh on women. If you don't have to care about other people's opinions, you can pretend that she didn't say anything. Seeing that it was getting late, Kai Anchi slowly put on her clothes in front of the camera, flirting with the man on the other side of the computer. Ning Shu saved the video and put it in the USB flash drive. Ning Shu didn't know how many of these things he had collected. This thing was simply a divine weapon. Ning Shu used this trick in many worlds. He was getting more and more skilled. Ning Shu boiled medicine for Kai Anchi every meal. Kai Anchi didn't resist. After all, her body felt much better. Since there was no more medicine, Ning Shu went to grab a few more scrolls and cooked them for Kai Anchi for her 3 meals a day. Anyway, Ning Shu only made noodles. She didn't want to eat it. Ning Shu felt that he might not have a mother-in-law in this life. It didn't matter whether he could cook or not. Kai Anchi drank medicine every day and ate noodles 3 times a day. Kai Anchi's face turned blue. She threw a tantrum with Wang Bo and wanted to order food. Wang Bo could only listen to her. They were already in conflict. If this could make Kai Anchi happy, Wang Bo was also happy. Kai Anchi didn't have any oil in her stomach. Seeing that Wang Bo agreed, she immediately called to order food. She ordered sashimi, tender steak, and a table full of dishes. Anyway, Kai Anchi only ordered what she liked. She felt that it would be a waste if she didn't take advantage of the situation. Anyway, Ning Shu saw that Wang Bo's hands were trembling when he paid the bill. It was a thick stack of red notes. Wang Bo sighed. Kai Anchi ate very comfortably and felt that she had been hungry for a long time. Wang Bo looked at the dishes on the table and then looked at Kai Anchi. His face twitched. Ning Shu saw that Wang Bo didn't move his chopsticks and said, "Eat. You ordered so much. Why aren't you eating?" Wang Bo tasted the food on the table. It was not that he was reluctant to let Kai Anchi eat, but Kai Anchi's attitude made Wang Bo uncomfortable. Kai Anchi ate until she burped, looking very satisfied. Ning Shu also ate very comfortably, but Wang Bo had a bitter face. In Ning Shu's opinion, he was honest, but his heart was too heavy. Since he had already ordered the food and given the money, he might as well enjoy it. Kai Anchi ate a little too much and said to Wang Bo mercifully, "Let's go out for a walk to digest the food." Wang Bo immediately put down his chopsticks and wanted to go out with Kai Anchi. Actually, he didn't eat much. Ning Shu said faintly, "Let's eat first." Kai Anchi rolled her eyes and looked at Wang Bo. It was as if she was silently asking, "Are you listening to me or your mother?" The atmosphere was a little heavy, and it became a state of mutual hostility. Ning Shu frowned. Was Kai Anchi thinking too highly of herself? She didn't eat and wanted to go with him to digest the food. She was simply being unreasonable. Wang Bo was not your servant who would come at your call. If she had the ability, then she should be arrogant in front of the men outside. She was spoiled. Wang Bo struggled and didn't know what to do. Ning Shu sighed in his heart, "Let's go for a walk. I'll clear the table." Wang Bo and Ning Shu smiled and followed Kai Anchi out. Kai Anchi turned around and smiled provocatively at Ning Shu. She reached out and grabbed Wang Bo's arm and said sweetly to Ning Shu, "Granny, we're going out." Ning Shu said amiably, "Be careful." Kai Anchi curled her lips and rolled her eyes before walking away. Ning Shu looked at Kai Anchi's back view and sneered. He then cleared the things on the table. Kai Anchi and Wang Bo only came back when it was dark. The atmosphere between the two of them wasn't bad and they entered the bedroom. Wang Bo and Kai Anchi took a shower and Wang Bo asked Kai Anchi how she was feeling. Kai Anchi directly pressed on Wang Bo's body, and Wang Bo immediately laughed. The two of them groped for a while and Wang Bo was about to enter. But the moment he entered, Kai Anchi suddenly screamed and pushed Wang Bo away. Wang Bo fell to the ground. Wang Bo looked at Kai Anchi in shock. Kai Anchi looked terrified. She felt as if she was being torn apart. It was so painful that she couldn't take it. "What's wrong?" Wang Bo asked Kai Anchi anxiously. Kai Anchi held her stomach and felt the pain slowly disappear. It wouldn't hurt for a while. Kai Anchi felt strange. Could it be that it had been too long since he came? Kai Anchi pressed on Wang Bo's body and took the initiative. She slowly entered. Wang Bo couldn't take the torture and went in. Kai Anchi's face turned pale. It was as if her internal organs were displaced by Wang Bo's strength and were about to tear her apart. Kai Anchi quickly pulled out and held her stomach. Wang Bo was stunned. Seeing her like this, he asked, "What's wrong?" Kai Anchi's eyes were filled with tears. "My stomach hurts. I can't take it anymore." "Why is it like this?" Wang Bo frowned. "Why does it hurt for no reason?" Kai Anchi panted and broke out in a cold sweat. After a while, she felt that her stomach didn't hurt as much. She waved her hand weakly and said, "Don't do it. My stomach hurts." Wang Bo was speechless. Wang Bo was on the verge of exploding. How could he stop now? He touched Kai Anchi's body, wanting to continue being warm. He wanted to touch Kai Anchi to arouse her. Kai Anchi was weak from the previous pain. Seeing Wang Bo like this, she was so angry that she wanted to die. She gave him a big slap in the face. "I said it hurts. Don't do it. Don't you understand?" Kai Anchi shouted. Wang Bo's head was suddenly slapped by Kai Anchi. He didn't come back to his senses for a long time. After a while, he turned his head to look at Kai Anchi. He didn't say anything and just stared at Kai Anchi. Kai Anchi was angry, but her heart skipped a beat when she saw Wang Bo's gaze. She softened her tone and said, My stomach hurts. Wang Bo didn't say anything. He put on his clothes and left the room. Kai Anchi was furious when she saw Wang Bo leave without looking back. What kind of man was this? He ran away when he saw her in pain. Scumbag! Wang Bo came to Ning Shu's room and knocked on the door. Ning Shu opened the door and saw the red mark on Wang Bo's face. He was surprised. Chapter 7:15. Kai Anchi hit someone she didn't care about. From the clear red mark on Wang Bo's face, one could tell how hard Kai Anchi hit him. Ning Shu asked, "Did she hit you?" Wang Bo pursed his lips and said, "Anchi has a stomachache. I don't know what's going on. Take her to the hospital tomorrow." Wang Bo turned around and spread the mat on the floor. Ning Shu looked at Kai Anchi's room, then closed the door and went to sleep. The next day, Wang Bo was supposed to go to work, but the red mark on his face didn't disappear. Instead, it became more obvious, and half of his face was a little swollen. Ning Shu told Wang Bo not to go to work because he couldn't go to work. He found some anti-inflammatory medicine for Wang Bo to take. Wang Bo appeared to be very quiet. He silently took the medicine given by Ning Shu. Ning Shu brought the medicine into the bedroom and woke up Kai Anchi, who was snoring loudly. Kai Anchi drank the medicine and lay down to sleep again. Ning Shu said, "Wang Bo said you weren't feeling well. Go to the hospital." Kai Anchi's body trembled at the mention of the hospital. She didn't even feel sleepy anymore. "I'm not going to the hospital. I'm fine," Kai Anchi said while touching her stomach. It didn't hurt now, as if the pain last night was an illusion. Ning Shu's face was cold. "Then why did you hit Wang Bo?" The mark on his face made it impossible for him to go to work today. How can he go out? The mark won't disappear in a day. Kai Anchi was stunned. "She forced me. I said I wasn't feeling well." Ning Shu sneered. "Kai Anchi, don't push your luck. You've been with other men, but you didn't say they forced you. My son is honest, but it's not up to you to bully him." Kai Anchi stared at Ning Shu and said casually, "When did I bully him? I was just defending myself. Rape in marriage is also rape. Can't I resist?" Ning Shu didn't say anything. He glanced at Kai Anchi's stomach and said lightly, "You said the thing you relied on wasn't that reliable. Get up and get ready to go to the hospital." Ning Shu took the bowl and went out. Kai Anchi got up and walked out of the bedroom to see Wang Bo sitting on a chair. She walked over and saw that there was indeed a red mark on Wang Bo's face. Kai Anchi also felt that she had gone too far. She gave Wang Bo a sweet date. "I'm sorry. I was too harsh. I'm sorry." Kai Anchi whispered into Wang Bo's ear, "You can do whatever you want tonight." Wang Bo looked at Kai Anchi and said, "Sit down and eat." Seeing that Wang Bo's expression had softened, Kai Anchi felt relieved and sat down. Ning Shu said to Wang Bo, "Come with me to the hospital today." "All right." Wang Bo nodded. "I'll go with you," Wang Bo said to Kai Anchi. Kai Anchi immediately shook her head. "I'm fine. I'm not going to the hospital." "But you were in so much pain last night. It's safer to have a look," Wang Bo said. Kai Anchi said impatiently, "I said I'm not going, so I'm not going. I'm fine." "Then I won't go." Wang Bo compromised. Ning Shu didn't say anything. Because Wang Bo didn't go to work, the young couple went to the bedroom after eating breakfast. Kai Anchi unbuttoned Wang Bo's shirt. Obviously, she wanted to test if it was as painful as last night. Seeing that Kai Anchi was willing, Wang Bo naturally hugged her. The two took off their clothes. When Wang Bo entered, Kai Anchi took a deep breath. However, she was still panicked by the overwhelming pain below. It was as if her body was going to be torn apart. Wang Bo moved twice. Kai Anchi was in so much pain that her face turned pale. She felt that the pain below her pubic bone was already numb. Kai Anchi exerted all her strength and kicked Wang Bo away. Wang Bo was kicked to the ground. He sat on the ground and felt that his tailbone was going to break. "What's wrong now?" Wang Bo looked at Kai Anchi, who was holding her stomach and rolling on the bed. He ignored the pain in his body and asked, "What's wrong with you?" "My stomach hurts. It hurts down there. It hurts when I come with you." Kai Anchi said with sweat all over her head. Wang Bo didn't know what to feel. What did she mean by it hurts when she comes with him? Wang Bo put on his clothes and helped Kai Anchi put on her clothes. He said, "Let's go to the hospital." This time, Kai Anchi didn't refuse. She was really in pain. It hurt a lot. Wang Bo helped the weak Kai Anchi out of the bedroom. Ning Shu raised his eyebrows and asked, "What's wrong with her?" Wang Bo said, "Anchi has a stomachache. She wants to go to the hospital." Ning Shu nodded. "Then let's go." Wang Bo directly carried Kai Anchi downstairs. They went out of the community and got into a taxi. Ning Shu sat in the front passenger seat. He looked back and saw Kai Anchi's pale face. She was sweating and looked like she was in pain. When they arrived at the hospital, Ning Shu asked, "Where does it hurt?" "There's the heart, liver, spleen, lungs, kidneys, stomach and intestines in your stomach. Do you want to do these tests again?" Kai Anchi's face became even paler. She said, "It hurts down there. My breasts and uterus." Ning Shu nodded. "Then let's go to the gynecology department." Ning Shu went to register. Wang Bo sat on the chair with Kai Anchi. Wang Bo held Kai Anchi's hand and said, "It's all right." At this time, Kai Anchi's stomach didn't hurt so much. The pain slowly disappeared. Ning Shu registered and took Kai Anchi to the gynecology department. Wang Bo was waiting outside. "Tell the doctor about your symptoms," Ning Shu said. Kai Anchi hesitated for a while before saying, "It hurts when we're having sex. It's very painful." It was as if her body was going to be torn in half. For a moment, she was in a trance because of the pain. The doctor did a checkup and even put her finger in. Kai Anchi cried out in pain. There was nothing wrong with the body fluid test, and there was nothing wrong with the B-scan. The doctor was not sure what the reason was. She said, "There's nothing abnormal. There's no lower body spasm. It may be a fear of sex or psychological reasons." Kai Anchi was confused. How could it be fear? It was impossible. Ning Shu took Kai Anchi out of the clinic. Wang Bo, who was waiting at the door, immediately asked, "How is it?" Ning Shu shook his head. "You still need to see a psychiatrist." Wang Bo was stunned. What did stomach pain have to do with a psychiatrist? Wang Bo was confused. Kai Anchi was even more confused than Wang Bo. Anyone could have this disease, but it was impossible for her. Kai Anchi touched her stomach. There was nothing wrong with it at all. It didn't hurt anymore. It was normal. Kai Anchi looked as if she had seen a ghost. Could it be that the pain was all her hallucinations? Was it the pain she had imagined? Kai Anchi looked at Wang Bo. There was a red mark on his face, and he looked worried. Just one look was enough to make anyone lose their appetite. Was it because the subject was Wang Bo that she felt disgusted? Kai Anchi bit her lips tightly. She wondered if she should find another man to test it. Would the same thing happen? You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.